This afternoon, it is the NFL on NBC. Outdoors in Seattle, 41 degrees and raining. Indoors, the Buffalo Bills and the Seattle Seahawks. Hello, everybody. This is Charlie Jones along with Randy Cross. And for the Buffalo Bills, the return of Jim Kelly after missing last week. We talked to him last night. He said, today we're going to play at my pace.
Well, and his pace means he's calling the play. He runs this offense. Early in the season, that wasn't really the case. A lot of stuff coming in from the sidelines. Jim Kelly wasn't happy, and his performance really suffered. Last 4 games, the real Jim Kelly has stepped forward, and he's made a huge difference along with a great running game. But for me, the MVP is Bruce Smith on the defensive side of the ball. He's probably the MVP defensively in the entire league. A guy that can control the line of scrimmage throughout a game. Watch him on this artificial turf.
And for the Seattle Seahawks, the quarterback situation entirely different than the Buffalo Bills.
Well, you know, you got one guy that's a future Hall of Famer. You got Rick Meyer really trying to put a resume tape together because he won't be a Seattle Seahawk next year. He's going to get a lot of pressure. First down is absolutely critical for this guy. But if you look on the defensive side for the Seahawks, the 2 most important people to me are their cornerbacks. First, Carlton Gray. Secondly, Corey Harris. Because Jim Kelly really thinks with his wide receivers, especially Andre Reed and Quinn Early, he has a great set of matchups there.
And here's the situation for Buffalo already today. San Diego has lost and Houston has lost. So that means for the Buffalo Bills, they win here this afternoon. They then will clinch their spot in the playoffs. We'll be back with the ball game in a moment. But now let's go to New York and Greg Gumbel.
All right, gentlemen, welcome everyone. Let's get you caught up on the scores of the early games, and we'll begin in Green Bay, where the Packers are beating the Denver Broncos and beating them decisively, 41-6. Brett Favre reading the blitz here, throws to Antonio Freeman, shakes loose from Torrey James, races for a 51-yard touchdown, the second of his 3 touchdowns on the day. John Elway did not play in this game. The Green Bay Packers claim the NFC Central Division Championship. They're leading it 41-6. In Pittsburgh, the Steelers are the champions of the AFC Central. They have beaten the San Diego Chargers today 16-3. In Miami, the New York Giants knocked off the Dolphins today 17-7, the final score. Dave Brown with a touchdown pass to Howard Cross. Rodney Hampton 5 yards for a TD for New York. In Houston, the Oilers hosting the Jaguars, falling to Jacksonville 23-17. Eddie George, 141 yards rushing last week against the Jets. Only 15 in the first half today, but it was a big day for Natron Means. After a Steve McNair interception, Means finds a hole, barrels in from the 5, his second touchdown of the day. Jacksonville goes to 7-7 with the victory. In Tampa, the Bucs knock off the Washington Redskins 24-10. In Chicago, the Bears trouncing the St. Louis Rams 35-9. In Cincinnati, a last-second try at the goal line by the Ravens fails, and the Bengals win 21-14, and Atlanta all over the New Orleans Saints 31-15. We'll send you to the kickoffs in Foxborough and Seattle right after this.
Here is Dennis Erickson, the Seahawks head coach. The Seahawks record 5-8. And Marv Levy, the head coach of the Buffalo Bills, their record is 9-4, and they're looking forward to the playoffs. Seattle has won the toss, so that means that Steve Christie of the Buffalo Bills is going to kick off. And the deep back for the Seahawks on the return is Ronnie Harris. So Seattle will have the first opportunity here on offense this afternoon. And a sparse crowd here in Seattle for this ball game. It is high and it is short, but taken on the run at the 14-yard line, then out to the 25 and up in it at the 30 and down around the 31 or the 32-yard line. Rick Meyer, the quarterback of the Seattle Seahawks, this, believe me, is going to be his last home appearance. He is going to be traded. He knows that. He's talked about it. He is looking forward to a future with another football team, and his offensive set is going to be this. This is his offensive line.
Well, you talk about the future. Pete Kendall, the rookie out of Boston College, is a guy to build something around. Former Buffalo Bills Howard Ballard starts at right tackle. Chris Warren's been 1,000 yards every year, but his yardage this year rushing tells you a lot about the struggles of Seattle on the offensive side.
Chris Warren way down, but he is going to get the call here. He comes into the ball game needing 308 yards in the last 3 games. That's against Buffalo, Jacksonville, and Oakland, to have his 5th consecutive 1,000-yard year. Here's the Buffalo defense, and he'll be trying to get it again.
Well, we talked about Bruce Smith, Charlie, but Ted Washington is just a pillar inside. About a 350-pound pillar. That's a big pillar. And if you like linebackers that hit a lot, White, Spielman, and Maddox are great, and I love watching Matt Stevens, the rookie at safety. He will hit anything that moves.
Second down and 6. Here's Warren again. And he's going to pick up a couple, maybe 3 yards on the play. Ted Washington with a stop. And in the offensive set of the Seahawks, Warren is further back as a tailback than almost anybody else in the National Football League. What's the reason for that?
Well, a lot of that has to do, Charlie, with his style. He's a glider. We talk about all the time how he looks like he's not moving fast. He glides at full speed like most guys sprint, and that's why he's so deep. Good reason for his yardage being down rushing is the Seahawks get behind so fast in most games they can't run the ball.
Third down and 3, 38-yard line. 3 wide receivers in the set. Warren in the block. Here's the blitz in the side. Ken Irvin, the cornerback blitz, and nobody picked him up. Whoa.
Well, you know, how often do we talk about, Charlie, when you have a quarterback, especially a young quarterback, from his backside in the slot, you want to bring these type of blitzes. Now watch what happens. He's thinking linebacker blitz. What's he get? He gets the corner you can barely even see right behind the linebacker. I mean, that's a tough one for the quarterback to see.
And Rick Tootin will kick it away. Jeff Burris is the return man. He pulls it in at the 26. Heads to his right. Crosses the 35. Down around the 36-yard line. 45 yards on the kick by Tootin. 11 yards on the return. And Jim Kelly leading the offense of the Buffalo Bills. And here we'll set out the K-gun. First, the offensive line.
Well, all these guys have one thing in common. 2 things, really. They're pretty good, and they're all hurt.
And now the K-gun, 1 tight end, 1 running back, 3 wide receivers.
Thurman Thomas, Charlie, 2 weeks ago, we saw him twist that ankle. I don't look for him to be in the game a whole lot. Look for a lot of Derek Holmes.
Thurman is in there to start. First down, 37-yard line, and here is Thurman on the draw to the right side with that quickness, and he has a first down. Ball comes loose. And the Seahawks have the football.
It's a matter what the officials are doing. Now they're pointing the other way, Charlie. I thought at first one of them was pointing to the ground, is down by contact. But, you know, Thurman, we talked about that ankle. He absolutely burst through the hole on that play.
He exploded.
You know, talk about acceleration. Remember, it's that left, it's a little slow delay drop. Watch his left ankle. No signs or effects. Wrap it up. He's got it wrapped up with both arms, but Carlton Gray, 26, knocks that thing loose and is picked up by Seattle. That was a great job stripping by Carlton Gray.
So Seattle with the turnover has the ball at the Buffalo 44-yard line. Second opportunity on offense, first down. Coming out right, pass is complete. Ricky Proe. Proe, the wide receiver. In the last 3 games, it had only 1 catch. This one is good for 16.
Well, just a perfect way for Rick Meyer to get going, because first down, as you'll see throughout this day, is absolutely vital to him. And equally as vital are the short passes. When he's getting blitzed, Proe and the rest of those receivers have got to turn their heads and look to Meyer, because he has to get rid of it.
First down, 28-yard line. There for Chris Warren. Well, maybe a yard, but that's going to be it, as he is stopped by Bruce Smith.
You know, Warren's kind of like Marcus Allen. We always marvel at how they get those last couple yards. You say he's gliding, you forget how fast he really is moving. And when he hits a pile, he tends to kind of like keep going. He doesn't fall back. He doesn't fall sideways. He always takes that 6'2" and lays it on the other guy's side and gets that extra yard.
Second and 9, 3 wide receivers as the ticker goes by. With the final of the early games this afternoon, down the sideline, has a man, hits him. Touchdown, Seattle, Joey Galloway. 27 yards, and the Seahawks are on top of the Buffalo Bills.
Well, I tell you, Meyer might not be around in Seattle after this last home game. But this guy, Galloway, is excitement personified in this offense. I would get this guy the ball every single play if it was feasible. He can do everything. Woo.
Capitalizing on the turnover, 44-yard line. 3 plays, touchdown Seattle. They're up 6-0 with the extra point to come by Todd Peterson. And it is good. So with 11:57 left to go, we're in the first. The Seahawks are up 7-0.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, who reminds you fresh beer tastes better. By Lexus Luxury Automobiles, the result of a relentless pursuit of perfection. By McDonald's, official break of the NFL. And by Staples, the office superstore.
So with the Seattle Seahawks out in front of the Buffalo Bills very quickly by a score of 7-0. The Seahawks will be kicking it away. Buffalo with second opportunity on offense. Eric Moles is the return man for the Bills. Has an opening to the near side. Cannot quite get to it across the 20. Down to the 25. Ball is loose. Seattle says they have it again. If they do, that would be 2 recovered. It's down by contact. Down by contact. Don't get excited.
Runners ruled down by contact. First down.
Now, see, watch what happens. The ball does not come out, I don't think, till after his knees are down. See, down on the ground, ball comes out. It's good for excitement.
Yes, it is.
You know, Rick Meyer, Galloway did a nice job, but that's the guy that made that last touchdown possible. Watch the linebackers, watch the blitz come from the outside. He reads the blitz, that means man. And if you got your man on their man and your man's Galloway, you're going to score.
And last 2+ ball games, that now the 3rd touchdown pass for Meyer. Pressure on Kelly, he had to get rid of it. And it was Winston Moss who was all over him. So Kelly may want to set his offensive pace, but the defense of Seattle will take a look at it. They want to dictate the pace.
Well, these guys up front, they've got to do the run. It's the job of the linebackers and defensive backs to take care of the pass. The guys up front have to stuff that run.
5 wide receivers on this set. Over the middle, pass is complete. A running grab by Andre Reed. And remember, Reed was upset because he didn't get the ball that much last week. Now here's the Seattle linebackers in secondary.
And he just got taken for a ride. There he comes up limping. This is an aggressive defensive backfield, but watch the corners. Jim Kelly will test him down the field.
Going still now with 5 wide receivers. We've got a timeout.
Well, he got twisted seriously on that last play. He started to go down, and then he gets flipped. Watch. He wants to go down, and then comes the flip, and then the leg bangs into the ground. That's what happens. I mean, Corey Harris just did a great physical job of manhandling the receiver.
And so a momentary injury timeout. And now we'll clear the field as we get set to go again.
I mean, nothing unnecessary about that, Charlie. That was not a dirty hit. I mean, that was good, clean action.
3rd down and 3, 28-yard line. Buffalo has yet to pick up a first down in the ballgame. They show 3 wide receivers on this set. Here's the inside handoff to Thurman. He scoops for the corner, cannot get there. I like the quickness that we see from Thurman, though, coming off of that injury a couple of weeks ago.
Well, you bring up the term quickness, Charlie. That was the key to stopping that play, though. Winston Moss and that side of the defense. If you can bounce that counter outside, then it's up to the defensive backs. If you can bounce it wide enough, it gets back to the defensive line.
Oh, Chris Moore is going to kick it away. Ronnie Harris is the return man for the Seahawks. Pretty good kick. Fielded at the 24 and Stiles, and down, and that's it. So Seattle will have the ball at their own 26-yard line. Ken Irvin was down covering after the 47-yard kick. We've got a timeout, and the Seahawks have a 7-0 lead. .10:24 time remaining. We're in the first quarter. Some 4.5 minutes into action. Seattle up 7-0 over Buffalo, and Seattle has the ball. Total offense, the Seahawks 43 yards to this point. The Bills only 18. Meyer rolls, throws down the sideline on a comeback, and it is going to be incomplete.
Yeah, notice who he's going for, Charlie.
Joey Galloway.
Joey Galloway. And, you know, Rick Meyer has proven, especially if you looked at his game last year against Buffalo, he's not a real down the field type of guy. He had a problem then. He still is not a great passer down the field, but if he can throw intermediate passes in the 30, 40-yard types, he can be extremely dangerous. You got to pressure him. If you don't pressure him, he will sit back there and throw it well.
We mentioned earlier this should be his last home game as a starting quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks, expected to be traded after the season is over. He hands off to Chris Warren, and Warren will go near the 30-yard line. And if he gets into an offense like a West Coast type offense that will feature his strength, then he can be very effective.
Well, best case scenario for Rick Mirer is he gets cut. Nobody wants to pick up his salary because he's not going to be a starter next year for somebody. He's going to have to sit and learn a system for at least a year. The best thing that happened to him for him to get released by the Seahawks and then be able to choose where he wants to go. I don't see he's got a huge trade value, to be honest with you.
3 wide receivers on 3rd down and 6. Ricky Prohl is the motion man behind the line of scrimmage. Over the middle, it's Prohl. He's got it. Breaks the tackle. Makes a nice move. Cuts away. Can be caught. They've got the angle on him. He'll chase him to the sideline. A little start and stop. Few more yards. Nice open field move by Ricky Prohl. His second reception, 56 yards. Marlon Kerner would not let him get away. Where did these Seahawks come from? This is a different ball club.
Remember the intermediate pass, and if you don't pressure Rick Mirer, you're going to pay for it. They're bringing the blitz. It's not effective. Now look at Prohl. Prohl's a great possession receiver. He's good at making people miss, but you're about to see the difference between the first names of Ricky and Joey. Joey is scoring about now, and Ricky's still dodging guys.
And the numbers on Rick Mirer, 3 of 4, 100 yards already, and a touchdown. 14-yard line of Buffalo, first down. Back to the ground game. He's in there. A yard, maybe 2. That's going to be up for Chris Warren.
Obviously, Charlie, Seattle's come into this game, pretty inspired, ready to play football, but this almost looks like a replay from the Buffalo Bills standpoint of that game last week against the Indianapolis Colts, where they were just flat. I mean, they've turned the ball over, and defensively now they're doing something they're not really used to doing. That's giving up big plays, and people are moving the ball. Wade Phillips is excellent at adjusting defensively, but right now they have not adjusted.
Second down and 8, 12-yard line. 3 wide receivers on the set. Meyer, pressure, and he's throwing it away. He got the pressure up the middle and was out of time. He knew it. He wanted to go to Joey Galloway. He knew that Galloway could not get to the corner on the flare pattern, so he just threw it away.
But yeah, look at Meyer. Look at his face. You know how hard he gets hit? He gets hit so hard here that it hurts the 1 on the back of his jersey. I mean,
Sam Rogers nailed it.
He bruised that 3. See that 3 on his back? There should be a little blue mark in the middle of that 3 where he got hit. That is called hitting through an offensive player by a linebacker.
3rd down and 8. Again, 3 wide, same set as before. And the draw, 1. 9-yard line. Field goal team will come in. Chris Spielman and Jim Jeffcoat.
It's Bob Bratkowski on the left, the offensive coordinator for the Seattle Seahawks. They've obviously done a very nice job of looking at Wade Phillips' defense for Buffalo and really knowing how to attack it initially. That whole Seattle Seahawks staff, though, is going to have to adjust by next series after Wade Phillips makes his adjustments.
27-yard field goal attempt by Todd Peterson. A high snap, and it is no good. Bad snap.
Oh, sure. Blame it on the center.
Yeah.
It's the kicker's fault, not the center.
The words of my center partner. Back in a moment.
Center, Charlie, it's not always the center's fault. A little high heat for Rick Tootin, the holder, and almost got through his hands. He barely gets the ball on the ground.
And meanwhile, the Bills go back to work at the 20-yard line. There's Thurman Thomas. That's just about it. Now, let's check in with Greg Gumbel in New York for an update. Greg?
All right, Charlie, Buffalo fans won't want to hear this. At Foxborough, Drew Bledsoe with the play fake, 3-yard touchdown pass to Ben Coates, and with the extra point, New England with the lead over the New York Jets, 7-0. Charlie.
All right, thank you, Greg. And here it is 2nd down and 11. Kelly is struggling, and he's going to get back to the 20. They're going to give him a yard to the 21. He'll pick up a couple of rushing yards. And he is slammed to the artificial turf by Cortez Kennedy and Dean Wells.
Well, you're about to see as close to Jim Kelly will ever get to imitating a ballerina. I mean, these are absolutely nifty, nimble moves for Jim. He's the first one to admit he's not a real mover and shaker and sprinter. And You know, remember, he's getting slammed around a lot, and Marv Levy's very aware also of that pulled hamstring he's still got.
And also saved that last look where he was slammed. He was slammed right on that Bursic sack that is filled up in his left elbow. Now he sets it. Good coverage downfield. Finally waits. And Eric Moulds pulls open. That was 3rd down and 9.
Well, good patience by Jim Kelly, having faith in his rookie receiver, Eric Moulds, that he will get there. You know, it's tough for a guy that is learning an offense to get that faith for a quarterback like Jim. Jim's used to the veteran wide receivers, and he's finally getting that kind of faith in Eric Moulds that he's going to be where he's supposed to be.
Well, he misses Tasker because he always looks for him, and he's out with an injury. Derek Holmes is now the running back, and he gets the call. He wanted to do a stop and a start, but he stopped and then was stopped again by the Seahawks. Dean Wells was there. No gain.
You know, both Holmes and Thurman Thomas are both blast, quick-hitting runners. If you can get them stopping or you can get them going outside, that's not their style. It's not what they want to do. And the pursuit right now of Seattle, especially on the exteriors of the defense, is doing a great job.
2nd down and 10, 5:52 and counting, time remaining. Kelly goes to an audible. Seahawks are leading in the ballgame 7-0. He's down to 7 seconds on the play clock. Has pressure, steps aside, backside pressure, and it is intercepted. The Seahawks with their 2nd turnover, and this is Darrell Williams. Williams recovered the fumble. Now he has the interception. He heads to the far side and down the sideline. He told us yesterday, if we don't stop the run, it will be a long day. He has stopped the run. He now has stopped the pass.
Great job of disguising by Darrell Williams and the defense for the Seattle Seahawks. They showed Jim Kelly a blitz look, and at the last minute, watch the safety here move back into a 2-deep zone. Jim Kelly is anticipating a different defense completely. They're now in 2 deep. Watch Darrell Williams, top of the screen safety, anticipate, break on the ball. You don't play a zone defense any better than that. Look at Jim Kelly. You know, I've thrown an interception, and you know what, McCrary? It's your fault. That's not my fault. Get off my legs.
37 yards on the interception return. 1st down, 23-yard line. Warren pops through the left side. He's going to be inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. Gain of 4. 2nd down and 6. 2 turnovers in the ball game, and the Seahawks have them both.
You know, I'll be honest with you right now. This Buffalo Bills football team does not look like a team that's battling for that number 2 playoff spot. They should have that first week off, all things being equal. The way they're playing the last 2 weeks, not a chance. They're going to be playing either the wild card game or that 3rd divisional game. The way they're playing, it'll be wild card if this continues.
First things first, they've got to get to the playoffs. If they're not there yet, they have an opportunity with a win today to get to the playoffs, and they should get to the playoffs. And then look at the updated playoff picture as Bruce Smith makes the stop.
Because in the context, too, Charlie, of New England and what they're doing, they're not going to lose to the Jets. No way in the world. They're going to be 10-4. Buffalo has to keep pace, and they have to start acting like they want to keep pace. They're sleepwalking out here right now.
And meanwhile, at the lower end of the teams, the lower end of the list is that Houston falls back, San Diego falls back, Jacksonville moves up. Bruce Smith is the injured player, and that is the reason for the timeout with 4:27 left to go. We're in the first quarter.
Yeah, we've already seen Andre Reed come out after that hard tackle by Corey Harris, and he's had an ice bag on his leg. This is the last thing that Buffalo Bills defense needs. They're playing without Bryce Pop. Here's Andre Reed. He's got that big ice bag right there on that right knee after getting tackled real hard, and now Bruce comes up limping on a knee.
And Sean Price comes in to replace him in that defensive side. 3rd down and 5 at the 18.
Now, if you're Buffalo, you don't have Bruce Smith. You got to create a pass rush. You got to blitz.
Warren becomes a 3rd wide receiver. We got flags flying everywhere.
And Seattle knows they're going to blitz, and they get nervous.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 66 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down.
That's Pete Kendall, the #1 draft choice this year, the rookie left guard. I'd get nervous too.
Well, rookie
moving around because you know they're coming.
Well, Dennis Erickson there. No, he knows his rookies are a lot more fidgety. You know, veterans don't get fidgety when they see blitz, but rookies have a high fidgety factor.
We have a report on Andre Reed. He is going to be out for the entire game. Another major loss for the Buffalo Bills. Higher, deep over the middle, and it is incomplete. Carlester Crumpler, the tight end, the intended receiver. Now remember, that was 3rd down and 10. So Todd Peterson is going to come in with another field goal attempt.
Bob Radkowski again. They've done a nice job of giving Rick Myers some very patient plays. And, he was going for Crumpler there, but Kerner, 46, the safety, had the position. Kind of like basketball. The defensive man has a position. You can't run through him. There was nowhere he could go to try to get that ball.
41-yard field goal attempt. The last time a high snap, it is high, but it is down, and this one is going to be letter perfect for Todd Peterson. And the Seahawks now move up by a score of 10-0 over the Buffalo Bills. Experience the NFL all week long on NFL.com, the official website of the National Football League. For all the tackles and touchdowns, a live game day scoreboard, click on NFL.com.
Also one of the best places to go for NFL news, injury reports, things like that for you people in the fantasy leagues.
And here is the kickoff with Russell Copeland of the Bills on the return. Heads to the far side. Butts head at the 20, comes down around the 25-yard line. He runs into James McKnight, the wide receiver of the Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks scoring on their 2 takeovers. 24 yards on their return, both turnovers, and they capitalized 7-3.
They're doing it, Charlie. I mean, Dennis Erickson's team is definitely on top of Buffalo right now. I mean, just watch the body language after plays, and during special teams, especially when the emotion really shows. You're seeing the Seahawks players pushing the Buffalo players. I mean, I know it's cool to be kind of a veteran and have that don't worry about it, we can come back, but I'd say now would be about the time to start showing you can.
Buffalo starting from their own 25-yard line. They have not shown any kind of offense at all today. This one is over the middle. This one is complete. And it is Lonnie Johnson, the tight end. As he goes rambling up the far side into Seattle territory. 29 yards. Robert Blackman and Darrell Williams finally stop him. First time the Bills have been this far into Seahawks territory.
And a nice adjustment. I talk about adjustments. Jim Kelly adjusts. He doesn't have Andre Reed. He knew he didn't have Tasker coming in. He was inactive on Friday. He's got to adjust and create another receiver to go to. He doesn't do his tight end.
3 wide receivers. There's Thurman Thomas. Looks for a little opening there to squirt. Cannot find it. He's going to pick up a yard to the 45-yard line. Yesterday, when we talked with Michael Sinclair, the defensive end for the Seahawks, he said that Thurman Thomas, when he runs, and that little move you see in the hole, he tries to put you on the wrong side of the block. If you get on the wrong side of the block, and he's gone. Incomplete. Pass was a little high. He goes up for it. Carlton Gray was there. Thurman Thomas earlier became 7th on the all-time rushing list, passing Franco Harris with 14,406 total yards.
And he can put you on the wrong side of the blockers, like Sinclair said, because Marv Levy's offensive line is huge. They've got a big size advantage on the Seattle defense, but right now they're not using it.
4 wide receivers, 3rd down and 10. This is Thurman underneath, inside the 40 to the 38-yard line, where he is stopped by Jay Bellamy.
Well, that'll be 4th down there. I mean, Jim Kelly trying to create something with Thurman, hoping he can get a matchup and make him miss. And he's got that bad ankle coming in, but the home of your air brakes is down around your feet. But his air brakes look to be pretty good right now.
4th down and 2. The Bills will go for it. They are down 10-0. Just over 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. And they show 4 wide receivers. No running back. Kelly steps back. He was tapping the center. That means he wants an audible, so he wants everybody to reset.
Yeah, and the lineman, he gets a timeout, Charlie. The noise is too much. You saw the lineman moving around. The lineman couldn't move because they never put their hand down.
That's their first charge timeout.
And that will be their first charge timeout. Now this is, and Kelly loves to run this offense this way. He loves that situation where he's going to change it. It's he and the clock trying to get everything set. This time he didn't have time. He'll take the timeout. He'll come down. He'll go back and do it again.
Hey, he's talking there with Jim Schaffner, and they got to be talking about exactly, what do we do here? And, Jim Kelly's calling his plays. We've talked about that. And, Jim Kelly in that situation, most teams are expecting you to try to draw him off, but you could tell by the sound in this stadium, defensive linemen can't hear him, more or less be able to hear his bark and jump off. And, Greg McMackin, I'm sure right there, the defensive coordinator for the Seattle Seahawks, is telling his defensive guys, watch the ball, and if there's no backs in the backfield, don't worry about Jim Kelly. Go after him. There's no run.
Buffalo's facing a 4th down, trying to convert. They're amongst the top, 82%. 9 of 11 4th down opportunities. Here's a score just in. Carolina, with 2.5 minutes to go in the first, now leads the 49ers 10-0.
Well, you start getting down by that kind of score like we have here, though, and quarterbacks know, like Jim Kelly, that means pass rush. Now they've got backs in the backfield.
4th down and 2. Kelly has pressure, and he's going to be sacked. Did he get it away? They're going to rule that he was down.
He was down, and he's limping right now, Charlie.
And the Seahawks coming with the pressure, led by Michael Sinclair.
Well, watch what happens. He's got help in the backfield. It's a maximum protect with Lonnie Johnson back there. But Sinclair gets right around Johnson.
Quarterback was in the grass.
He tries to shovel it. See, you just heard the official in the grass. He was not only in the grass, his knee was down by the time he tried to shovel that thing out of it.
So the Seahawks take over on downs. At their own 43-yard line, they have a first down, and they have the lead, 10-0, with just over a minute and a half to go in the first. Sinclair's 10th sack this season, and all at home.
And 4 against Denver and John Elway early this year when we saw him.
Seattle now with 3 wide receivers. Here's the pitch to Warren. A little bit of a hole on the left side. He's going to pick up 3, maybe 4 yards on the play.
Hoping and believing is a very slender type of thing. And when you're a favorite, you want to give the other guy as little hope and belief that they can win as possible. And right now, if you could put a bicycle pump in the hope and belief of the Seattle Seahawks, the Buffalo Bills are pumping that pump pretty good right now. I mean, Seattle right now is playing like they firmly believe they are going to beat the Buffalo Bills. And the Bills kind of look like, well, yeah, maybe you can.
Lamar Smith is now the running back. It's a screen to Lamar, and he kind of one-hands it up and down and around and can't pull it in. It'll be incomplete.
Well, you got Sam Rogers running around out there, and, watch the situation that arises. He and Damian Covington. Look at Rogers. He sees the screen. He stops. Covington gets the ball. He bats it. He should have had it. Bruce thinks he should have had it. Now, that's the kind of turnover and attack you need right now on this team. You got to attack Rick Meyer in this offense. You let him sit back there, you're going to lose.
3rd down and 6. The Seahawks are 0 for 3 third down opportunities thus far in the ball game. 3 wide receivers. There's pressure. Meyer steps away. He's going to run for it, and he's got it. Inside the 40-yard line of Buffalo, Spielman saves it. 14 yards, first down, converting on 3rd and 6.
Well, this could be a heck of a resume tape Mr. Meyer is putting together. He's already got a touchdown on a blitz read. He's got a couple of nice short passes to Ricky Prohl, and right here he shows what he can do when you don't maintain your pass rush lanes. Look at that. The entire middle of the field's open. Hansen tries to get back. But, I mean, that's a job a quarterback has to do when a defense gives you that kind of opportunity. That's the kind of ability that got this guy drafted as high as he was.
Rick Meyer having an outstanding game. He is right on target again. This time it's to Ricky Prohl for the 3rd time in the ballgame. 19-yard line, a gain of 20 yards on the last play of the first quarter.
That's the end
with
of the
the
first
Seahawks
quarter.
up by a score of 10-0. Back to the second period in Seattle in a moment. This is Charlie Jones, Randy Cross. We start the second quarter. Rick Meyer has completed 4 of 8 for 115 yards and a touchdown. and he has rushed one time for 14 yards. I'm beginning to wonder, the pressure's off. He knows he's leaving town. He said, I'm not the franchise. I don't have to save it. I'll just relax and play football. And he is really playing football today. Has a first down at the 24-yard line. Here is Warren on a sweep. Slides through inside the 21 of the 20-yard line, Chris Warren. And he makes that what we mentioned earlier, that Marcus Allen move. You think they got him stopped, and 3 yards later, there he is with the football.
Well, this is pure power glide. I mean, this is a toss sweep, the old student body left, power glide. I got him. Where did he go? I mean, he just went. He ran right in between people, and part of the student body left was trying to get the corner. There's, Crumpler trying to get a block on Bruce Smith. But look at he maintains the block. Part of the reason that play works is Crumpler maintains the block on Bruce Smith.
Second down and 6, 20-yard line. Three-step drop, fires it is low and behind the intended receiver. And that is Joey Galloway.
People talk about Rick Meyer. You mentioned earlier going to a West Coast offense. The first thing he'll hear when he goes to a West Coast offense and those coaches is when you throw this pass, put it in the numbers. In the numbers of the receivers. The receiver's job to turn the numbers towards the quarterback. You've got to lead them so it hits the numbers. And preferably, they get so specific, they'll say, we want you to hit the number away from the defender. I mean, they get that exact about it. And if you go somewhere else like that, he'll hear that a lot.
Third down and 6. Deeper drop. Has pressure. Slips away. Along the line of scrimmage. Goes to the end zone. It is tipped away. It's going to be incomplete. Jeff Burris was there for the defense. And he's looking for his main man, Joey Galloway.
Yeah, but, Galloway did a lot of work over there. He's saying he got pushed off on, but it's almost like he's complaining. Hey, he can't push me after I push him. Look, you got arm over, you got work, you got a little hold by Burris, you got a little push by him, you got a little both ways. Joey, easy.
And we'll come back now with a 38-yard field goal attempt by Todd Peterson, who's hit from 41, missed from 27. And this one is good. And the Seahawks have 3 more. And they're up 13-0. And we still have 13:59 left to go, first half.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. By Transamerica, the power of the pyramid is working for you. By 1-800-CALL-ATT, dial it for collect calls and save money every time you use it. And by DirecTV, satellite TV at its best.
In a ball game thus far dominated by the Seattle Seahawks, they're out in front of Buffalo by a score of 13-0. As Eric Moles and Russell Copeland are set to return the kickoff. And here is the rookie from Mississippi State, Eric Moles. Slides by one would-be tackler, and the second man nails him at about the 18-yard line. Next Saturday at 1:30 Eastern Time, the Ironman Triathlon. Watch as Paula Newby-Frazier comes out of retirement and goes for a record 8th Ironman crown. The ultimate test of endurance, the Ironman Triathlon, next Saturday here on NBC. If you ever get a chance to watch that, you get exhausted. I get exhausted reading the promo on it. It's all those things those people do. Well, total offense thus far.
Hey, Charlie, the only people getting exhausted right now are Seattle Seahawks. That doesn't even take into account, really, 2 turnovers, 3 really, because Buffalo turned it over on downs last time.
And Buffalo starts from their own 18-yard line. Thurman Thomas is going to pick up 3 yards to the 21. It'll be second down and 7. Terry Wooden with the tackle, the outside linebacker for the Seahawks. Check to the ticker. Those are the finals of the early ball game. Seeing that San Diego losing, and also pointing out the fact that Houston lost to Jacksonville. That means a win by Buffalo if they come from behind. This one is off of Winston Moss.
That's using his head, right,
That's
Jim?
That's right. It is. Well done.
Well, I talked about throwing it on numbers. Well, nowhere in the quarterback pamphlet are those numbers in the back of the defensive guy's helmet. See the little 55 in the back of Moss's helmet? Wrong number.
Wrong numbers.
Trying to go to the 84, not the little 55.
Go to the big numbers. Third down and 7. Kelly shotgun deep over the middle and is put on. Nice grab. Russell Copeland pulls it down. Carlton Gray with the snap. That is only the 4th reception this year for Russell Copeland, and is good for 18 yards out to the 40-yard line.
And that was a veteran quarterback throw, because very good coverage by Gray. He put that thing high and away, because he knew Copeland was the only guy that could get to it high and away.
Derek Holmes is now the running back. 3 wide receivers on the set. Far side, caught and out of bounds. Quinn Early. Selwyn Jones had the coverage on him. And there is Quinn. We talked to him. He said, living in Buffalo this year, said his kids had never seen snow. They had the first snow. He said they went out of the house. We couldn't get them back in, but they didn't want to come back.
Well, they live in San Diego, probably looked outside and said, what is that? Is that really cold sand?
At the Seahawks 49-yard line, first down. Kelly goes to an audible. The crowd very knowledgeable here. They'll do it with hand signals.
Remember last time they transferred to a 2 deep and got Kelly for an interception. 2 deep again.
Snap comes with 3 seconds to go on the play clock. Looks left, goes deep. Receiver, the intended receiver, fell down. It is intercepted. 3rd turnover for the Seahawks. Darrell Williams, 1 fumble recovery, his 2nd interception of the ballgame.
Well, you know, Jim Kelly, he saw they were going back to a cover 2. He was throwing a high outside ball that he figured, okay, Copeland doesn't fall down. This is where he can get to it. Well, unfortunately, his receiver does fall down for Jim Kelly, and Darrell Williams is the only one there. Just gets a lot of chest. Nice move there on Derek Holmes. Puts him on the ground. Dancing on the sideline before Eric Moles gets a chance to knock him out. That's 3 turnovers to 0. And that doesn't also take into account, like I said, giving the ball up on downs.
And in addition, both of the turnovers are 2 of the previous 3. They capitalized with a field goal and a touchdown. Here's Chris Warren. 34 yards on that return by Darrell Williams.
Well, Jim Kelly made the comment about it. We're going to play this game at my pace. And Marv Levy very comfortable with his quarterback going at his pace. And so far today, he's really paid for those 2 mistakes, because Darrell Williams right there and that defensive backfield have done a very nice job of adjusting and calling off their audibles for Greg McMackin's defense.
2nd down and 8. Here comes the blitz. Red going to the hot receiver. It's Ricky Prohl. Prohl's having a very busy day. Only 17 catches on the year. 1 for 5 yards in the last 3 games. That's his 4th reception already in this ballgame.
Well, you know, Rick Meyer is very comfortable with Ricky Prohl. And like I said, you know, it's a short passing game. And Ricky Prohl right now is getting inside on those zones. And next time he throws him the ball, you watch what Ricky does. Ricky's a very smart receiver. He turns those 88s. His 88s will face Rick Meyer. Makes it easier to hit.
Ronnie Harris checks in as a wide receiver. 4 wide receivers on this set. 3-step drop, fires, and it is caught. Did he catch it? Flag is down. Joey Galloway. Meyer drilled this one in, and Thomas Smith was all over Joey Galloway. Let's see what the call is.
Well, you know, Charlie, he was doing a little lobbying, too. He was begging for a flag, and he got it.
Pass interference against the Bills.
Watch what happens.
Pass interference. Number 28 on a defense. First down, Seattle.
Okay, that was defensive holding, if that was anything, because Thomas Smith definitely yanked on his jersey. But I didn't see much interference, but that was defensive holding.
Spot the ball now at the 25-yard line. First down. We haven't had that many flags in the ball. 10:42, time remaining first half. Seahawks are up 13-0. And here's the reverse. Mike Pritchard on the reverse.
Well, one of the reasons you run a play with Mike Pritchard on a reverse coming off that short slot, Charlie, is former running back at the University of Colorado. He's got this. Watch. That's not a receiver move there. It makes Matt Stevens miss. That's a good old running back wiggle that made him miss on that one.
And Matt Stevens defensively had played him exactly right. He was waiting there for him. He just couldn't do anything with him when he got there.
Good aggressive tacklers are good guys to wiggle on. If you wiggle the right way, they won't get you.
Second down and 3, 18-yard line. Here's Lamar Smith. Off the right side. Everything seems to be working with the Seahawks.
Ted Washington's down, Charlie, the big nose guard for the Buffalo Bills.
What else could go wrong for Buffalo?
Everything is negative right now for the Buffalo Bills.
And positive for the Seattle Seahawks.
See that big brace on his left arm. He's been battling a bad elbow all year long. Hyperextended it earlier this year. He's wearing a big brace on that thing to keep it from hyperextending more. See that big left arm just sort of hanging there right now. He's made a huge difference in this run defense. They're averaging 3.2 against him rushing because of that guy right there. There is nowhere to run usually in the middle because of Ted Washington.
Seahawks at the Bills' 12-yard line. They've got a first down. Lamar Smith is the remaining back. 2 wide receivers on this side. Double tight end. Not a lot there. Leads just inside the 10-yard line. Just Spielman with the tackle. Into a couple. It's going to be second down and 8. Here are the numbers on Lamar Smith. He was drafted in the 3rd round in '94 out of Houston. This year has 5 touchdowns. Has rushed for just over 500 yards coming into the ballgame. And he has 5 receptions coming into the ballgame. Second down and 8. At the top of the eye, and he has the ball. Goes to the side, stutter step, second stutter step, moves down the sideline and out of bounds. That's a great move. He can accelerate, and he doesn't look like he's accelerating. He's so smooth.
Oh, you know, remember how big this guy is, Charlie. This is a running back running with the ball. You know, he's 6'2", about 225, 230. Look at this. Stop, start, stop, start. I mean, he can make you hurt yourself. If you're Jeff Burris there, 22, he can make you pull a muscle stopping and starting with him because he knows when he's going to stop and start. You have no idea. You have to adjust. You and I, we pull everything, not just something. We pull everything doing that.
Did you notice his eyes? He was watching the big diamond vision, seeing how he was doing.
Saying
pretty good job.
Good, aren't I?
Yes, I am. 3rd down and 2, 4-yard line. We're going to have a timeout.
Yeah,
Buffalo Bills want to stop the clock with 8:21 left to go in the first half. We'll be back in a moment. Seahawks 13-0. Bruce Smith is there for Buffalo to try and stop the Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks taking that last timeout.
There's no try here, Charlie. They have got to stop holding to a field goal here.
4 wide receivers, including, as you saw, number 84, Joey Galloway. Here comes the middle blitz. Tipped in the air, and it is incomplete. Ricky Prohl, the intended receiver. The field goal team will come on.
Yeah, Wade Phillips in the defense for the Buffalo Bills. You know, they got to have Meyer thinking right now, you know, what could I have done? But, you know, honestly, you know, sometimes you eat the bear and sometimes the bear eats you. And right there, the bear took a little bite out of the Seahawks. And Dennis Erickson knows that was just, you know, one of those chess checkmate kind of things.
24-yard field goal attempt. Peterson 2 of 3 today. Snap wasn't that good. Nice move by the holder. It is up. It is good. And the Seahawks 3 more points off of a turnover. And they are up 16-0 over Buffalo. Just over 8 left. First half. This is Charlie Jones and Randy Cross. Randy, Seattle has capitalized on the turnovers.
Every single time.
Here is the kickoff. And Eric Moles is the return man for Buffalo. Breaks it to the sideline and is then bumped out of bounds. He is taken out around the 37-yard line after a 23-yard return. And it was the busy man himself, Darrell Williams, who bumped him out. Williams with a fumble recovery and a pair of interceptions for the Seattle Seahawks. He now has 5 picks on the year.
Hey, you know, here's a guy that he's still frustrated. He played at Cincinnati, frustrated losing there. Comes here to Seattle, thought he really had a chance. You know, remember how great this team finished last year. Won 6 out of their last 8 games, finished at 8-8. You know, it's been a tough year for Seattle, but right now they got Jim Kelly and the Buffalo Bills looking old and tired.
Here's Thurman Thomas. Maybe a yard. That's going to be about it. Maybe 2. Thurman Thomas stopped by Cortez Kennedy.
You know what the Bills look like, Charlie? They look like they spent 5.5 hours in an airplane last night, flying across the country, getting in here about 7:30 at night, and they're on East Coast time.
Here's Thurman again. There's the hole. Cuts to the outside. He's the 45-yard line. Of course, they did exactly that. How long was the flight? Well, it was worth 3 movies: Slap Shot, the unedited version, Twister, and The Rock.
And if I was Marv Levy, the way this game's going, I'd make him watch this game in slow motion for 5 hours going back.
3rd down and 2. Kelly, a little lob pass for the 1st down and a stiff arm. And breaking clean is Lonnie Johnson, the tight end. Nice move, the stiff arm, and his strength good for another 10 yards. Darrell Williams finally with the tackle.
Well, you know, Darrell Williams, by the time he gets to Lonnie Johnson's done the stiff arm. He's done the heavy work. Lonnie Johnson makes a wise choice here. Look at him. He's leaning. I might as well jump. If I don't get up out of the air, he's going to get my legs. I'm getting my legs out of the way.
34-yard line, 1st down. Thurman, couple of yards on the play. Winston Moss with the tackle. Speaking of that return flight, Caddyshack, Tim Cut, and Independence Day are the movie schedule. You're right, they may be game movies like that.
Yeah, I'd make them read the in-flight magazine the whole time they play like this.
2nd down and 8. Kelly goes to an audible. Crowd reacts. Thomas goes behind him. 3 wide receivers. Everybody is in on this. Changes to another audible. Thurman has 2 yards.
Well, the last 2 times we've seen that happen, you know, Seattle's gone back into that 2-deep zone, and Jim Kelly's trying to throw passes against Greg McMackin's defense there, the coordinator for the Seahawks. And, you know, that time he kind of took the other route. Said, well, the heck with us throwing the ball over the middle and getting Darrell Williams another pick. I'm going to see if they're rushing up the field. I'm going to try to get a draw in. And that didn't work either.
3rd down and 8. Buffalo 6, 1st down. Seattle has 8. Three wide receivers, open tight end. Thomas in motion. Kelly a lob across the middle. They want pass interference. He's not going to get it. Russell Copeland calling for it on Corey Harris.
Corey Harris. He was doing what you refer to defensively as dogging somebody, because they were begging for pass interference, and he's down there mimicking like he's fishing for a reaction. That was not pass interference. Jim Kelly thinks so, but that was not pass interference. And, yeah, just sort of like the old Maxwell Smart. Right now, Buffalo's kind of missing by this much. Just
4th down and 8. The Bills take a timeout. 5:17. That is the time remaining in the 1st half, and a 1st half that has been completely dominated by the Seattle Seahawks. We'll be back in just a moment. Seahawks are up by 16. Buffalo goes for it on 4th down and 8. They fake the inside handoff. They go deep over the middle, and it is incomplete. A flag is down. A flag is down. This is the 2nd time in the ball game that Buffalo has tried to convert on 4th down. They failed the other time, although they are amongst the leaders in 4th down conversions on the year. But thus far, not that kind of an afternoon.
Prior to the snap, we've got a false start on number 70 offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 4th down.
That's on John Fina, and that means that Chris Moore is now going to come in following the penalty yards and just try to pooch it up in the air and down, let it land around the 10-yard line.
I think that's a lucky break for Marv Levy. Honestly,
you're right. For
my money, you punt in that situation. You don't go for it there. You've already been stuffed one time, and you got to make 8 yards. That's why they invented the pooch punt there.
And he pooches it to the side. Gets a roll. Nice play. That's what he was looking for. And he goes out at the 12-yard line. So Seattle will take over. No return after that 26-yard little pooch kick at their own 12-yard line. And the Seattle Seahawks are pretty well dominated the ball game, but in reality, it has been Darrell Williams who has done it. 2 interceptions, a fumble recovery. They held them on downs, and each time the Seahawks have capitalized when they've had an opportunity.
And this guy here, Rick Meyer, Charlie, has really stepped up. I mean, if this is his last home game for the Seattle fans here, right now he's giving them a little something to remember him by. He is doing a very nice, consistent, level-headed job.
In the papers this week, he said, you know, when I look back on my years here, now this is his 4th year, he said, I don't find any memorable games. I have to go back to college at Notre Dame. Well, the way he's playing now, this may be one that you want to look back on to remember. And I don't know if he's playing like this. Maybe everybody's going to reevaluate the situation. Rick, we love you. Stay.
Yeah, really one thing that jumps out at me as the key here is not so much all the people that are making plays on this football field today. It's the guys that aren't here. You know, Jim Kelly does not have Steve Tasman. Jim Kelly lost Andre Reed. So right now, you know, outside of Quinn Early, who you automatically now double, he does not have a go-to guy. Meyer's go-to guy right now has been Ricky Prohl. His big play guy is Joey Galloway.
Galloway wide to the far side. Play action fake. Has pressure. He's throwing it away. Everybody was covered. You're going to say he was going to Prohl, but he way underthrew him. He had a little opening there, and he was throwing it away to avoid a loss.
Well, that's been the key through his career here at Seattle. Teams know you got to go after him. And, you know, he's throwing interceptions, and he's caught a lot of heat here. You know, I mean, how would you like to open up a newspaper and see that? You know, if you're Rick Meyer, and, you know, they were going to bring Jeff George in. That was going to be a done deal. Well, that wasn't the deal. And now Freeze is the quarterback, but then Freeze gets hurt. And suddenly it's, hey, Rick, what are you doing for the next month?
That's it. Come save us again. Here's a little swing to the right side to Warren, and Warren is going to be chased out of bounds. That was a 3rd down and 8 situation. They did not pick up the yardage to convert. So Seattle now 2 of 8 3rd down opportunities.
Well, in normal situations, Dennis Erickson, I think, would be a lot more nervous about giving the ball back to Buffalo here with about, you know, be about a little under 4 minutes by the time they get it in Jim Kelly's offense. But Jim Kelly's offense is not really what we've seen in Jim Kelly's offense the last month.
Here's the kick to Jeff Burris. Buffalo fair catch. Taken at the 40-yard line. You know, pretty good field position for the Buffalo Bills. They haven't had a lot of it. 43 yards on the kick by Rick Tootin. And now with 3:55 left to go in the first half, here is Jim Kelly. We mentioned earlier, and he showed us last night. Notice that big wrap on his left elbow. He has that bursting sack, and it is filled. It looks mean.
It looks like he's smuggling golf balls in that thing.
And they were going to drain it. They said, no, you're just going to hit it again on Sunday. Wait till after that, and then we'll drain it.
Well, in that rationale, you don't drain it till February then. Feels like he's never going to get hit on it for the rest of the year.
Does that bother you? Does it hurt?
It hurts quite a bit. It's very, very sensitive. The nerve endings just jingle when you get that thing hit.
He got one hit earlier, went right down on his elbow. This one was high, but pulled down. It's pulled down by Russell Copeland. His second reception of the ball game with Carlton Gray hanging on him.
Well, Cortez Kennedy got some nice pressure on Jim Kelly on that play. You know, Kelly fires that thing for a completion, but you know, we talked about the size advantage of the Buffalo Bills offensive line working. They have got to take control of this football game if Jim Kelly is going to have a chance to make something happen.
2nd down and 5. 3 wide receivers. Kelly to throw. Over the middle, and it is low. It is incomplete to Russell Copeland. For an update, let's go to New York and Greg Gumbel. Greg?
All right, Charlie, and we'll zip you out to Foxborough, where Curtis Martin takes the handoff and scoots 19 quick yards for the touchdown. His 17th rushing touchdown of the season, ties him for the league lead with Terry Allen of the Redskins. 17-3 New England coming up on halftime, Charlie.
All right, thank you, Greg. That's pretty much as expected. But what has not been expected is what's happening in Seattle. Lonnie Johnson, the intended receiver. And it was tipped by Jay Bellamy as the Seattle Seahawks have completely dominated the first half, leading Buffalo 16-0.
Yeah, and you know, Jim Kelly, I think he needs to just get on that sideline and start jumping in some backsides right now. Just getting guys' faces and start kicking them in the butt and say, hey, look, let's get this thing going. You know, if you want to do something offensively, you better start doing it now or you're going to be in deep trouble.
Only 8 of 16. Here's the kick. Fair catch is taken at the 14-yard line by Ronnie Harris of Seattle. So the Seahawks have the ball now with 3:08 left to go in the second quarter. And they have, and you're exactly right. Yeah,
he's got to do that. Yeah, I mean, we just saw the update from Greg in New York, Charlie. 17-3. There's one team.
He wants. Notice he wants him to get out. He wants.
Yeah.
This is a players-only meeting.
You know, there's one team at 9-4 in the NFC East that cares, and it's not the Buffalo Bills at this point. New England's taking care of their business against a team they should strum. And right now, Jim Kelly and his offense, and Jim Kelly and the Bills are the strummies, not the strummers. That is not a happy camper.
Back to play now with 3:08 left to go in the first half. Seahawks with a 16-point lead. They've shut out the Bills so far. They start just shy of their own 15-yard line. 3 wide receivers, 1 running back. Meyer, 3-step drop. Sam Rogers gets him as he came clean and his shoulders hurt.
Yeah, Meyer got hammered because Rogers came underneath Bruce Smith. Bruce Smith goes up the field working against Atkins. Watch Smith, then watch Rogers come right underneath him. You know, Chris Warren, the running back, never sees that blitz coming. I don't even know if that's his responsibility, but watch how Meyer lands. He's got the ball.
Left shoulder.
And he's just slammed down on the ground.
And there's not a lot of give in this artificial surface here in Seattle. Second down and 16. Here's the drop. There's Warren. Little stutter step to the outside, back to the 15-yard line, the original line of scrimmage. It'll be third down and 10 when Chris Spielman makes the tackle.
Yeah, we've talked about Bob Bratkowski's offense there on the left-hand side and the adjustments they've made. Well, so far, you know, his little chart there on the right side of the screen, he's pretty much been going down the chart saying, okay, Rick, run this, okay, that works, this, yeah, that works. You know, and Wade Phillips on the defensive side, the defense of Buffalo until this possession has not adjusted well, but it seems they have adjusted.
Third down and 10. Far side incomplete at 2 receivers within 4 yards of each other. Usually that is some kind of a mistake because you draw too many defenders. And meanwhile, the quarterback drawing Bruce Smith.
Well, you know, you talk about drawing attention. Yeah, it's not always down the field. You're drawing attention. Rogers got him by going outside and coming underneath, and
he's trying to strip him.
He's trying to undress him. He's not trying to sack him. You know, he doesn't want to wear that jersey much longer, Bruce, but don't take it off now. He's still got a few games to go.
Rick Tootin is going to kick it away. Another good kick. He's been averaging 42.5 yards today. Flag is down. Jeff Burris on the return. 50 yards on the kick, an 11-yard return, but that will not be the end of that story. The penalty is going to be on Thomas Smith.
Without a doubt, Thomas Smith, he just mugged Ronnie Harris, the second-year man out of Oregon.
What causes that to happen? They know they can't do that.
Desperation.
Illegal block in the back. Number 28 on the receiving team. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Well, you know, watch what happens. Right there. See the left side of the screen? That was a block, a push in the back, and a climb on by Thomas Smith on Ronnie Harris.
Surprised it didn't cost him more yardage.
Well, you know, and for Marv Levy and the Bills, it's just another first-half mistake. When they're not turning the ball over, they're jumping off sides. When they're not jumping off sides, they're making dumb mistakes on special teams.
They've given up 2 interceptions and a fumble recovery to the Seahawks. The Seahawks also have held them on down. And the Seahawks have capitalized on their scoring opportunities. Kelly rolls away. Downfield pass is complete. Oh, a nice jump step move by Aaron Moles. Moles will pick up the first down. They're going to blow the play dead at about the 44, maybe the 45-yard line. The 2-minute warning to both teams. We've got a timeout. We'll be back.
That's a 2-minute warning.
Seattle leads it 16-0. Be sure to stay with us at halftime for the Domino Pizza NFL on NBC halftime report. All the scores and highlights, what has been going on today, and how the playoff picture is all shaping up. And what about Cincinnati?
Yeah, Cincinnati won today, beat Jacksonville. They're 6-8, and Bruce Haas is 5-1 since he took over for Dave Shula. So, you know, drop the interim in front of his name as far as head coach. He is head coach.
Buffalo at their own 45-yard line, first down. 2 Bills have not had anything working for them offensively. He goes to Lonnie Johnson, his tight end, who has developed, at least in this ball game, to be his favorite target. He's dropped by Joe Nash.
You think Mr. Kelly got these offensive guys' undivided attention? I'll tell you right now, if I'm a receiver for Buffalo, if he throws the ball near me, I know I better not drop it.
Second down and 1. Here's a blitz up the middle. Kelly is decked. Pass is complete to Thurman Thomas. Kelly really takes a shot.
Well, that was Jim's guy. You know, if you're going to bring 7 people and you're willing to do that, the quarterback has to say, I got my guy. And if he can find his guy Thurman down the field, part of the job is taking the shot.
37-yard line, first down. He goes deep as his man. He's got a touchdown, Buffalo. It's Eric Moe. 37 yards. A quick 72-yard drive in 4 plays.
They're going to go for 2, Charlie, in this situation. At 16-6, but watch what he's doing. He's heading down the field. He's splitting the zone. You got Corey Harris, and he had Darrell Williams, and he threw that ball in the perfect spot. Remember the number thing? Put it at the number away from the defender. Jim Kelly put it on the perfect number. And get your pom-poms out, Jim, and do a little more yelling. It worked.
And you know one thing, that Eric Moles was listening on the sideline. He was having a players-only meeting. They'll go for 2. For 2, and it's good. And it is 16-8. For Eric Moles, that is his second touchdown of the year. His first was rushing. This is his first receiver.
And that last 2-pointer to Quinn Early, Charlie, is just pure man coverage, running a quick slant, and Quinn Early, just like the road runner. All you heard was a beep, beep. He was by Carlton Gray.
And with 1 minute and 5 seconds now left to go in the first half, all of a sudden, with a 2-point conversion, Buffalo jumps right back in the middle of this one.
You know, watch. All you're going to see is the receiver for Buffalo. You're going to see the defensive back, Carlton Gray, chasing. You don't ever want to be a chaser. Top left part of the screen. Watch the matchup. Quick slant. Are you with him or are you chasing? You're chasing. And Quinn Early's got that kind of acceleration and speed. I mean, guy's had a great career all over the league. And, you know, Carlton Gray, to his credit, has had a great career around the league and the things he's done. But, you know, you get a man-on-man matchup in that type of situation, you're going to take away the inside. You better take away the inside.
Steve Christie now will kick it away for the Buffalo Bills.
Marv Levy looks like he's getting all ready to rip into his guys. So, what am I going to say now?
Now they're going to say,
it's 16-8.
Keep it up.
Keep it going now instead of what the heck are you doing?
Or, Jim, come over here and talk to everybody again. Here's the catch. Ronnie Harris pulls it in at the 4-yard line. There's to the 25. He runs into a group of friends at around the 27 or 28-yard line. 25 yards on the return. Damian Covington will get credit for the stop.
You know, one thing here, Charlie, with about 57 seconds to go, you know, let's all watch what kind of defense Buffalo comes out in. You know, how Wade Phillips attacks Rick Meyer. You know, Wade Phillips knows if I attack Rick Meyer, I got a chance for a big play. But the problem is, if you go after him in this situation, you leave yourself in man coverage. And if you want to go in man coverage in this situation, watch out for Joey Galloway.
And Galloway is at the top of the screen, number 84. Meyer sets, and it is incomplete. Ricky Prohl, the intended receiver. Marlon Kerner was there to break it up, and he was throwing into a crowd. They had double coverage on him.
Well, not only Kerner, but Chris Spielman was there. And, you know, Spielman, throwing a ball near Spielman is like tossing a bone near a rabid dog. I mean, he just jabs and slaps and jumps at it. He doesn't try to catch it. He almost tries to pop it.
Second down and 10. 52 seconds left, first half. Slips away. Throws it. Chris Warren has it. 34-yard line. Nice scramble by Myers. Saved, maybe 4 or 5 yards. Sam Rogers with the tackle. Clock is moving. Now they'll take the timeout. So Seattle stops the clock with the timeout. They lead 60-8. Seconds left in the second quarter. Use a touch pattern down the sideline, and it is overthrown.
Hey, Wade
Galloway, the intended receiver. Go ahead.
Sorry, Charlie. Wade Phillips and the defense came out in 2 deep zone. Exactly what Seattle's doing to Jim Kelly and the Buffalo offense. 2 deep zone and said, hey, look, you're not throwing the ball over the top. If you're going to get it, you have to be patient. And, the coverage was there. His defense did a nice job on that one because there was nowhere for Meyer to go.
Rick Tootin once again having a good afternoon punting. At Denver last week, he set a club record. He averaged 55.2 yards a kick. Here's Jeff Burris on the return. Another good one. He's going to let it sail over his head and go into the end zone for the touchback. So they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. And Buffalo will have the ball in some 21 seconds of time on the clock. A 66-yard kick now by Rick Tootin.
Yeah, right about now, I think Greg McMackin there, the defensive coordinator for Seattle, and about everybody in this house has to be saying, okay, Jim Kelly, you got to be kneeling on the ball. There's only one play you look out for when you get a kneel down like this from a quarterback. There is such a thing as faking the kneel down and then throwing a ball long. I mean, that's really taking a shot. But I look for Jim Kelly and the offense right now to just protect it, get in at halftime, and enjoy that touchdown and 2-pointer they just got.
And that's the set. So Buffalo will be content now just to run out the clock. The Seahawks will also settle for a halftime score of Seattle 16 and Buffalo 8 here in Seattle. Now remember, Buffalo comes in with a 9-4 record and a chance to make the playoffs. But right now, those chances are a little bit on the slim side. So that's the first half here in Seattle. Seahawks lead by 8 as we go now to Greg Gumbel in New York City. Greg?
This is the Domino's Pizza NFL on NBC Halftime Report, brought to you by Domino's Pizza. For hot and wow, call Domino's. Now.
Hi, everyone. Greg Gumbel along with Joe Gibbs, Mike Ditka, Chris Collinsworth as we bring you scores and highlights of the action taking place right now. We'll begin with the game in Foxborough where the New England Patriots, as they approach halftime, are leading the New York Jets by a score of 20-3. Bill Parcells' Patriots, they clinch a playoff berth with a win today. Parcells looking deep into the playbook for this one. Plays kicker Adam Vinatieri in field goal formation. Kicks it instead to the Jets' 2-yard line. It's 7-0 Patriots. Curtis Martin earlier went over the 1,000-yard rushing mark. Goes 19 quick yards for the touchdown. His 14th of the season. Vinatieri just kicked a field goal to make it a 20-3 Patriots lead over the New York Jets. Meanwhile, in Seattle, the game that you are watching, the Seahawks are leading the Buffalo Bills by a score of 16-8. Mike, just as we were ready to punch the Bills out of this one, Jim Kelly brought them roaring right back.
Well, they did. They got the K-gun working finally, but I tell you what's happened to them. They have turnovers early. Kelly did not play well early. They abandoned the running game very early in the football game. It's going to be up to Buffalo's defense. They're going to have to harass Meyer, and they're going to have to shut down Galloway, or else they're not going to win the football game. I maintained early in the year that Buffalo wasn't as good as their record. I'll stay with that.
All right, Mike. 3 turnovers for the Bills today, 2 interceptions by Kelly. In San Francisco, the Carolina Panthers trying to put their mark on the NFC West, 24-14. They are leading the 49ers. Carolina not showing a whole lot of respect for the 49ers today.
No, as a matter of fact, it surprised me a little bit, their attitude. I tell you right now, they're in your face on San Francisco. Both teams a lot of bumping and grinding and after each other. But who would think that Kerry Collins would be in a shootout with Steve Young? They're almost dead even, and they are moving the ball, and that's what surprises me. Carolina's able to move the ball in San Francisco. This thing's a heck of a ball game.
3 touchdown passes for Kerry Collins. And in Arizona, the Dallas Cowboys and the Cardinals lead at 6-0 at halftime, Chris.
Dallas loses their 2 best defensive players, and their offense falls apart. Makes about as much sense as the rest of the day here.
Deion Sanders, lower back spasms, has not played and probably will not play for the rest of this day. We'll bring you scores and highlights of the early games right after a word from the NFL and these messages from your local station.
Pizza NFL on NBC Halftime Report, brought to you by Domino's Pizza. For hot and wow, call Domino's. Now.
Welcome back to our studios, everyone, for a look now at the early action today. And we will begin with the game in Green Bay, where the Packers beat the Denver Broncos. 41-6 was the final score. John Elway sitting this one out with a sore left hamstring. His counterpart, Brett Favre, had a great day. 4 touchdown passes late in the first half. After eluding the rush, he steps up, hits Antonio Freeman, who caught 3 of them. This one good for 14 yards, 13-3 Packers. Favre able to read the blitz and hit Freeman again, who slips the tackle and turns into a 51-yard touchdown play. That made it 20-3. Green Bay fans have the Superdome on their minds. They claim the NFC Central Division title. And take a look at Antonio Freeman since he has returned from the injury list. He had a big day against Chicago. He had an even bigger day today against the Denver Broncos. And it looks like with all their walking wounded back, Joe, the Packers are looking good.
Well, everybody said this was a preview of the Super Bowl. We hope not.
Joe.
Yeah, I tell you, though, you can't. I don't think we can judge the game today without Elway. It's not the same Denver Broncos. I will say this. When Favre gets rolling, Mike made a comment, he's in the zone. You can't stop him. 41 points today. It's the highest scoring team in the NFL. And playing at home, Green Bay's going to be tough to compete.
Packers have won 15 straight at Lambeau Field. The Broncos' 9-game winning streak is snapped. In Pittsburgh, the Steelers claim the NFC Central. They beat the San Diego Chargers 16-3. 3-0 in the first quarter. Wild play here. Mike Tomczak's pass to Jonathan Hayes is intercepted by Darian Gordon. He's hit by Terrence Shaw. His teammate loses the ball. Ernie Mills recovers. It led to a field goal by Norm Johnson and a 6-0 Pittsburgh lead. And then Tomczak for Andre Hastings. 11-yard touchdown pass. Pittsburgh lead stretched to 13-0. The final score, 16-3. And Mike, the Pittsburgh Steelers look pretty primed for the postseason.
I don't know if I know how good or you know how good or Bill Cowher knows how good they are. I don't think that they're playing that good right now. Tomczak did not have a great day, but he did enough. They rushed the ball well enough. But the thing that looks good right now that's going to keep them in everything is that great defense they have. They're putting pressure on the quarterback. They're stopping the run. They're doing everything they have to have with the defense. But they got to have more offense if they're going to get anywhere in the playoffs.
Steelers are 10-4. Chargers have lost 3 out of 4 now, and they're in big trouble at 7-7. Speaking of big trouble, in Miami, the Dolphins fall to the New York Giants 17-7. Dan Marino facing the Giants for only the second time in his career. Scoreless in the first quarter. Dave Brown to Rodney Hampton, who scores from 5 yards out. His first touchdown of the season, the 48th of his career, 7-0 New York. In the second quarter, Marino finds fullback Robert Wilson with a 3-yard touchdown pass. And with that, Marino has now thrown a touchdown pass against every team in the NFL. This game tied at 7. 10-7 Giants in the third. Quarterback Dave Brown with a little extra padding after being sacked. He comes back to throw a 1-yard touchdown pass to tight end Howard Cross. The Giants win it to go 6-8 on the year, and the Dolphins fall to 6-8. Maybe even more important, they are 2-6 over their last 8 games. In Houston, the Oilers with a chance to step up, they didn't do it. Jacksonville wins it 23-17. Eddie George, 141-yard rushing last week, had only 45 today. Opening drive, Natron Means powers in from a yard out, and Jacksonville takes the early 7-0 lead. 10-7 Jaguars in the third. Steve McNair's pass over the middle, intercepted by Chris Hudson, who returns 21 yards to the Jaguars' 47-yard line. In addition to the interception, McNair also fumbled twice. And that set up Means, who finds the opening, takes it in from 5 for his second touchdown of the day. Jaguars up 17-7. They go on to win it 23-17. I asked you earlier if maybe this signals the end for the moment of the Steve McNair experiment in Houston.
I don't think so. I think that he won the job, and overall this just wasn't a good day for the Houston Oilers. But the real story now, the Jacksonville Jaguars, who have now worked their way back into the playoff picture. They're right there with San Diego and Houston, plus the fact that they've won 4 of the last 5. But the real winner here today, because of everything that happened, the Indianapolis Colts, with the big win over Philadelphia on Thursday night, all of a sudden they are the team that, should the playoffs start today, would be in the playoff picture.
And have a long time to rest and get healthy for their next time out. In Tampa, look at what the Bucs did to the Washington Redskins today. 24-10, Tampa the final score. Bucs were absolutely pumped up for the Redskins today. Trent Dilfer to a wide-open Jackie Harris for 22 yards. His first touchdown of the year. Tampa led 7-0. 16-3 Bucs in the third. Dilfer to rookie fullback Mike Allstott, who breaks to the sideline and lunges in to complete a 13-yard touchdown. 2-point conversion, 24-3. Norv Turner's team continues to spiral downward. The final score, 24-10. The Redskins fall to 8-6. They have lost 5 of their last 6 games. Soldier Field in Chicago, late explosion by the Bears carries them to a 35-9 win over the Rams. Chicago defense dominated the Rams today. ranked next to last in the league. Their offense is. Dave Craig airs it out for Curtis Conway, 28-yard touchdown, 7-0 Chicago. Craig also scored on a 1-yard run. Rashaan Salam rushed for 115 yards today. This 4-yarder, his second touchdown of the day. He had just one entering the game, and the Bears rolled 35-9, the most points that Chicago has scored this season. In Cincinnati, the Bengals over the Baltimore Ravens today, 21-14. Ted Marchibroda's Ravens loses a 4-5 coming in. 13-7 Cincinnati in the fourth. After trailing most of the way, Vinny Testaverde avoids the sack. And then to the rookie, Jermaine Lewis with a 7-yard touchdown. The Ravens take the lead, 14-13. But here comes Jeff Blake and the Bengals. Fakes the handoff to Kajana Carter. 1-yard touchdown pass to Tony McGee. 2-point conversion, 21-14. Ravens with a last chance on fourth down. Testaverde to Carwell Gardner, short of the goal line. Sam Shade was there waiting for him. The Ravens miserable in the red zone this afternoon and in the snow. The Bengals win it by a score of 21-14. The Bengals are 6-8 on the year. In New Orleans, a couple of 2-11 teams doing battle. The Falcons came out winners, 31-15, the final score. Our NFL and NBC halftime activities continue.
It is halftime. Seattle continues to lead by a score of 16-8. This is Charlie Jones and Randy Cross. We take a look at the Coors Light halftime stats there quickly.
Well, you know, we got the touchdown at the end of the half. What really ruled this game were the turnovers by the Buffalo Bills, and they all involved Darrell Williams, number 33, the safety for the Seattle Seahawks. He was really the guy that made the difference defensively. You saw the stats. I mean, Buffalo outgained them, but they turned the ball over 3 times, and that was the story.
And every time they turned the ball over, is that the Seahawks capitalized on it. They didn't let an opportunity get away from it. Well, Buffalo will have the starting opportunity in the second half with Eric Mose and Russell Copeland, the deep backs. Todd Peterson is going to kick it away. And he sails a beauty. Taken right at the goal line by Eric Mose. And he'll return to about the 15-yard line. That's going to be it. So Buffalo will start the second half from their own 15-yard line. You talked about Darrell Williams. There is a look at him, and he really had a busy first half.
Oh, he really did. I mean, first of all, Thurman Thomas early in the game just burst through the opening, but he drops the ball, and Darrell Williams picks it up. Next 2 shots, Jim Kelly is throwing into a disguised defense on this time. Darrell Williams gets this interception. Next time, Jim Kelly's receiver falls down, another disguised coverage, and a nice return by Darrell Williams. The turnover will decide this second half. Buffalo is by no means out of it. Seattle's got to fight to get a chance to win this.
Well, Buffalo starts deep in their own territory. Here's Thurman Thomas again showing, as we start the second half, that quickness that he showed at the beginning of the ballgame that, frankly, surprised me because he's coming off of that twisted foot ankle injury that he had a couple of weeks ago.
Well, you know, look at that left leg. He's got pads and braces and all sorts of stuff working on that leg. You know, it wasn't so much just the left ankle. It was also the left, you know, the lower left leg, and he's got a knee brace and he's got a shin splint, and he's playing soccer.
And he opens with a 9-yard gain, and he comes back with another one, and he's going to pick up the first down.
If you run like that, he should wear one on each leg.
He'll be signing them and selling them,
That's right. He'll be marketing those things if they work that good.
And guess what? It was Darrell Williams who made the tackle at the 35-yard line.
This is what Jim Kelly needs. This is the offense Buffalo has run earlier in the year. Good running.
There's the hole on the right side, 41-yard line. Now we know what Marv Levy talked to the Buffalo Bills about at halftime, and that was to get the running game going.
Exactly. That's been the key this season for, you know, Marv Levy's offense. So much is made of Jim Kelly and the K-gun. He's calling his own plays. This is a conservative offense now. It's based by the run. Passing is a supplement.
Derek Holmes is now the running back. Kelly's going to throw, and he is right on target at the 50-yard line to Quinn Early.
But that's set up by that good running game, because then you start, what happens is a good running game gets those linebackers thinking line of scrimmage. And when the linebackers think line of scrimmage, there's area for those receivers to get behind the linebackers in the zone.
And suddenly the Bills at their own 50-yard line, they're just clicking off first down. Derek Holmes, he is stopped for a couple of yards. That's the first time the Buffalo offense has been stopped.
You know, I talk about the rushing, you know, being so important. You know, look at that. Another thing I want you to notice, how many NFC teams do you see on that list?
Ooh, good point.
You know, you tell me that the influence hasn't been felt. You know, you lose all those Super Bowls like the AFC does by losing the good defense and tough running. You adjust, and that's exactly what they've done.
Kelly throws, pass is complete. He's good for about 6 or 7 yards. He finds Eric Moles, who caught the touchdown. Terry Wooden was there for Seattle. Rushing yardage today, Seattle was 75, Buffalo was 52.
Hey, it's moving in the other direction, though.
Yes, it is.
You know, you're going to see Jim Kelly throw short ones, accurate passes. Remember, Andre Reed went out earlier today with a knee. Steve Tasker was not activated. There's no big go-to guy for Jim Kelly to throw to. He's got to run the ball and get it to his tight end, Ronnie Johnson.
3rd down and 3, shows 5 wide receivers. Here comes the blitz off of the corner, and he was out of time. Good defensive strategy by the Seattle Seahawks. They took away the short pass underneath, which is what he wanted to come back with for the 1st down.
Well, you know, Greg McMacken, the defensive coordinator, says, you know, he might be out of time, but he's not out of Terry Wooden, because right now he's got all the Terry Wooden he can handle. That's Wooden there, number 90, getting up into Jim Kelly's face, and that was a good call by the defensive coach of the Seattle Seahawks.
So Chris Moore is going to kick it away. Ronnie Harris is the return man, but this one is going to head for the end zone of the touchback. 43 yards on the kick. They'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. The Seahawks will move on offense for the first time in the second half. They lead by 8.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Acura, who invites you to test drive the new CL Luxury Sports Coupe. By Snickers, not going anywhere for a while? Grab a Snickers. Hungry? Why wait? By IBM, season's greetings to a small planet from everyone at IBM. And by Coors Light, proud partner of the John Wayne Cancer Institute and their search for a cure.
In the first half, the Seattle Seahawks led Buffalo 16-0 before the Bills, with a touchdown and a 2-pointer, cut it in half with just over a minute to go. And now the Seahawks, their first opportunity on offense in the second half, and they come back underneath the coverage and they throw to Ronnie Williams. Williams and Carlester Crumpler are the 2 tight ends as they open the second half in a double tight end set. Mark Maddox with the tackle.
You know, for the Buffalo Bills, what they have to do, Charlie, is, you know, you play golf. You know, sometimes you have your A game, and sometimes you got your B game, and sometimes you just got to sort of play with what you got that day. And,
I got a lot more of those days.
Well, you know, this is one of those days for the Buffalo Bills. So Wade Phillips has got to take more chances. He's got to attack more, put himself in more vulnerable positions to try to make things happen. Meyer could take advantage of that.
And a check of the ticker showing the finals of the earlier ball game. Here's Chris Warren. Cuts back. He's breaking it. He'll go all the way. No, he won't. Inside the 20. He's got it. Jeff Burrow saves the touchdown.
Wow, Charlie. I mean, you want to talk about a demonstration of a cut-back run?
Awesome.
Absolutely perfect. Why do you cut back? Watch onside. Bruce Smith. See Bruce Smith, the old side of that defense is all going onside. Warren came to a dead stop and cut back to avoid him. I mean, Burris makes that tackle to save the touchdown, but watch Warren. Speed brakes, air brakes, stop. See ya. Gone. Phil Hansen has a shot right there, but just a shot, not much of a shot. They had to rely on the speed of Burris to get that one.
First down, 19-yard line. Here's the draw. Warren will stutter step, breaks to the outside, 12-yard line. And he's got it going now in the second half. 7 yards, 2nd down and 3. Matt Stevens with a tackle.
Yeah, you talk about you got to go with what you got, you know, what you got that day. Well, you know, one thing Buffalo doesn't have is they don't have the intimidation factor. Seattle is not afraid of Buffalo. Buffalo does not have that attitude working, that real kind of surly swagger. No surly swagger. I mean, Chris Spielman and the gang on defense look absolutely normal.
Warren has rushed for 102 yards. He's now replaced by Lamar Smith. As Smith tries the left side, he'll get to the 10-yard line.
I mean, that was perfect for Dennis Erickson, that run by Chris Warren. It gets them in this situation down the field. But what they need here, in this situation, 16-8, they have a lead on the Buffalo Bills. They've got to get a touchdown here. Field goals do not keep you safe.
Here's the rushing defense, and today, look what thus far, we still got more than a quarter and a half to go.
That's why they're not swaggering.
Now they can swagger defensively a bit on that as they stop Lamar Smith. Meanwhile, a note on Chris Warren. He just set a club record, the 24th time that he has gone over the century mark rushing in a ball game for the Seattle Seahawks. They'll have to settle for the try for 3.
Well, the snap has been a definite adventure today. Jason Kyle, 57, has been in there snapping, and Tootin's been getting some high heat.
He's the holder. Good snap. It's there for 3. The Seahawks stretch their lead now back 19-8. Kickoff in a moment. Welcome back to Seattle. The Seahawks adding the first 3 points of the second half. Now lead Buffalo 19-8. Todd Peterson is going to kick it away. He, by the way, has hit 4 or 5 field goals this afternoon. From 41, 38, 24, the last one from 30 yards out. Eric Moles and Russell Copeland are the return men for the Buffalo Bills. It'll be Moles as he pulls it in at the set down to the 15. And he is stacked up at the 20-yard line. It was Dexter Siegler who made the tackle after that 14-yard return. Next Saturday, NBC Sports presents more exciting NFL action at the special time of 3:30 Eastern Time with the NFL on NBC. Then watch an interconference battle. Junior Seau, the San Diego Chargers, will take on Day 1 stats Chicago Bears. Randy and I will be there in the cold, along with our producer, Mark Wolf, and our director, Larry Cavallino. They'll be warm in the truck, of course. But it's the special Saturday edition of the NFL on NBC. That's next Saturday, starting at 3:30 Eastern Time. This will be a lot of fun. Well, I'd love to go to Chicago, and I'd love to go to Soldier Field.
Chargers are 7-7 after that loss today. They have got to win.
Kelly is just throwing this one away. He was way out of time.
And look who's running after him.
Surprise, surprise.
Sinclair again.
Yes.
You know, this guy is he's one of those quiet rushers, because he doesn't do it every single play, but just about the time you figure he's been quiet, he suddenly rears his head and starts screaming again.
I think he does it better when you're doing the ball game. When you're here, he turns it up a notch.
He'd do a lot better if I was blocking it.
Second down and 10. Kelly, quick drop on target. Pass is complete. Quinn Early has it. Selwyn Jones with the tackle.
Well, you want to talk about getting it on the right number. He absolutely put that one on the perfect number, getting him that ball. Sinclair a little slow getting up after that little pile he got into with Jim Kelly back there, but boy, does Kelly put that in a perfect spot. Watch it. Remember I talked about the number away from the defender? Gun it on a slant. It's right on the, he had a choice. Right 8 or left 8 on 88. Hit the left 8.
8 hurries. You saw the knock. He's taking a bit of a beating. Thurman Thomas. That was a first down. So Thomas moves out to the 35-yard line on first down.
And following up on that last graphic you saw about the quarterback hits, remember at the very beginning of the game when we showed the Buffalo rosters, I made the comment about, the offensive line had all one thing in common besides being pretty good. They're all hurt.
Yes.
I mean, they got ankles and elbows and knees, and, there's things you got to try to overcome. But, right now, they're not doing a very good job protecting Jim Kelly.
7-stop drop, hit from behind, backside pressure. Tried to knock it away. That was Robert Blackman coming on a corner blitz. And Kelly, with his strength, just held on to the football.
Yeah, but, that is not line blocking there, Charlie. That is Greg McMackin, the defensive coordinator, outdoing him. He calls the blitz. He gets the matchup with Thurman Thomas trying to block Blackman, and Blackman got around Thurman like he wasn't even there.
Thurman should have picked him up.
He blocked like he had a bad ankle. He's not running like he has a bad ankle, but he was blocking like he has a bad ankle.
Maybe it only hurts when he blocks. From the shotgun. Kelly has pressure all the way, and it is incomplete. He was going to Eric Moles. He was trying to hit him low and away as Corey Harris had the tight coverage on him. It is unsuccessful, 4th and 17, and that means that Chris Moore will kick it away for Buffalo. Seahawks continue to dominate the ballgame with the exception of maybe the last 5 minutes of the first half.
Well, you know, they played last year in Buffalo, and Buffalo won 27-21, I believe. And, you know, right now they're playing at home like that game never existed, like they should never have lost that one.
Chris Moore, this one is straight up and straight down. Fair catch is called for, moved up and taken at the 47-yard line. That's a terrible kick. Good for only 28 yards. We'll be back. The Seahawks lead 19-8. The Seahawks have their best starting field position following a punt in the ballgame from their own 47-yard line. Here's the average starts. For Buffalo, they're 26. For Seattle, they're 38.
Well, if you're trying to get into a game right now where you're saying, okay, we're going to make this field position, I think you're playing into Dennis Erickson's hands. You know, Marv Levy's team does not quite have it today. You don't want to get into a field position game right now because they have the better punter. Rick Tootin is the better punter. He'll kill you on field position.
First down, 47-yard line. Here is the reverse. It's Joey Galloway as he has the corner and about 5 yards on the play.
Boy, you really got a feel for Ted Washington. We watched this play. You gotta keep an eye on the big guy, number 92. It's one of those frustrating things. It's kind of like being the guy on the highway that is always driving the pickup truck, and he's in the fast lane, and he has to watch that Porsche flash his lights in the back because he's going to pass you. I mean, chasing Joey Galloway there, you knew he wanted to run faster. He just couldn't get to him. I mean, even when he slowed down the cut, he couldn't get to him.
Galloway now comes wide to the near side. 3 wide receivers on the set. Second down and 5. Ricky Prohl is the motion man behind the line of scrimmage. This almost intercepted. A perfect read by Kurt Schultz. He dives for it. Could not come up with it.
You talk about anticipation. He's looking at Meyer. Look at Meyer staring at the receiver. He does that. Schultz makes that just dive in. And that's exactly what Marv Levy's football team needs right now. If you don't have the good game going, the best way to cure the bad game is to get a turnover. They've got to get a turnover from their point of view right here. If Wade Phillips thinks turnover, that means attack and blitz.
And Seattle has converted only 2 of 11 third down opportunities in the ballgame. Backside pressure goes deep, and the pattern had been cut off by Mike Pritchard. So it is incomplete. The Bills hold. It is 3 and out, and Seattle will be kicking.
Rick Meyer is hurt. He came right down on his right arm by Bruce Smith coming around over the top on a blitz. Not on a blitz, on a pass rush. Watch him working right here against Atkins. He's a tough guy to cut. You got to get out of those legs. But, you know, that is a continuation thing. You saw the pile kind of come down on it. That was not a late hit by Bruce Smith. He was in the air. There's no way he could have stopped. And, you know, I guess poetic justice, he came up limping too.
Here's the kick. Everybody stay away. It takes a Bills bounce. Goes to the far side. It's going to be down around the 25-yard line. So Buffalo will have the football when we come back with 5.5 time remaining, third quarter. Jim Kelly needs to rally the troops one more time. He did it at the end of the first half. Seahawks have picked up 3 more in the second half. They lead 19-8. Buffalo with the first down from the 25, and on the handoff, absolutely nothing there for Derek Holmes. He's going to end up losing at least 5 yards on the play as Sam Adams was there to infiltrate for the Seattle Seahawks.
Well, he's about to get a Reuben Brown facial because Sam Adams hits Reuben Brown and knocks him back into Derek Holmes. I mean, you're talking about 320 pounds, hitting about 330 pounds, picking on a poor little 230-pound running back.
Second and 15. Kelly is high to the right. It'll be third down and 15.
Jim Kelly is getting pummeled. I mean, I tell you what, Jim might want to think about having a body wrap. See that left elbow wrapped up for that bursa sack? You might go to the trainer and see if he can get a body wrap because they are taking him down every single pass. You know you got something going on downfield if you're getting that much of a blitz look from the defense, but if you don't have the time, it's really a moot point.
Third down and 15. Bills have converted only 3 of 9. Third down opportunities, and it's dropped. Right in the hands of Quinn Early, and he drops it.
Wow. Jim Kelly got the time. They were coming after Jim Kelly, and that is one right now. You can't add to that list about the knockdowns and hurries, Charlie, but the line did a good job. Look at that, right in the hands.
And the hands of an artist, too.
Oh, yeah, I mean, he's a great artist,
yes.
but, you know, he caught that one like he especially was crayon.
Barely gets it away under pressure. Ronnie Harris on the return. Harris to the 35. Nice inside move to the 45-yard line. And again, Seattle will start with pretty good field position. 48-yard kick, 13-yard return. We'll step aside. Back in a moment. This is Chris Brantley of the Buffalo Bills and one of their trainers on the sideline.
Yeah, that's a stretch. That's Rusty Jones, the strength conditioning coach, giving him a little stretch. Probably because he hasn't been in the game much. He's starting to tighten up.
Seattle from their own 45-yard line. Here is Warren. And he's pulled down from behind. They got him on the side after a gain of about 5 yards on the play. And it was Damian Covington who made the stop for the Buffalo Bills.
You know, one of the reasons that we're getting the corners out here is really Warren is doing a good job of accelerating out there, and he's getting some help. You know, when you get a corner that clean, it's because the wide receiver's doing a nice job. And look at Galloway, Joey Galloway, 84, blocking on Thomas Smith. I mean, that buys your running back at least 3 yards.
Chris Warren now has rushed for 108 yards on 17 carries. That's the third 100-yard game he has had this year. He's replaced by Lamar Smith, who goes into the hole. A little sidestep left. 47-yard line of Buffalo. Rick Meyer, operating now with a bruised right shoulder, has completed only 8 of 21. 8 of 21 for 139 yards and a touchdown.
That's kind of like Joey Galloway. What's he got? 1 catch for 27 yards and a touchdown? I mean, we haven't seen much of the featured receiver for the Seattle Seahawks, but they've run the ball effectively, and Meyer has completed the passes he needs to complete. This is a first down Seattle has to have.
Third down and 2. Because of Bruce Smith.
Exactly. You know, sometimes, Charlie, this guy in the last month just swells up, and 78 says, you know, we're not going to play bad. I will not allow us to. He beats the rookie Kendall. The left guard tries to block him. He just powers through him, and, you know, he's got the will of 2 or 3 people.
When we talked with Phil Hansen, the defensive end for the Buffalo Bills on the other side the last night, he said, I cannot describe what Bruce Smith brings to our defense. And then he also said, I can't beat Bruce Smith. He said, I tried. He says, but he has more physical attributes. He said, there's just absolutely no way. This one is going to be down. Oh, he's going to chase it over on the 10-yard line. Nice kick by Rick Tootin. And the Buffalo Bills with 2:28 start out with in the third. Terrible field position.
Well, and Tootin gets that 37-yard punt going there, Charlie. But remember, we're talking field position game. If you want to get in a field position game with Seattle down 16-8, 19-8, you're asking for serious trouble. They keep getting the ball to Seattle at the 40, 45-yard line. Marv Levy's offense keeps getting backed up like this. This invites that aggressive defense of Greg McMackins for Seattle. That invites the blitz, and that invites more lumps and bruises on number 12, Jim Kelly, and goodness knows he's got enough going right now.
In the ballgame, Buffalo has had only one extended drive as far as yardage is concerned, a 72-yard drive that led to their touchdown, but they did it in 4 plays. They haven't had that drive of 8, 12, 10 plays down the yard, down the field. These little shovel pass and desperation there in Moles, and Moles turns it into a pretty good game. But the Bills haven't been able to control the offense.
They really are, Charlie. I mean, the deal is they're changing up on defense. It's not one thing. This time, it's Cortez Kennedy working against Reuben Brown, 96. And we're going to have to start calling Jim Kelly Lumpy for all the hits he's starting to take. We won't call him Lumpy Rutherford. We'll call him Lumpy. I mean,
second down and 4. He wants to come back out, and he gets it. He completes the pass to Russell Copeland. And Copeland goes out to the 25-yard line. He's got the first down.
You talk about will and Bruce Smith, you know, he's kind of wills himself to do these things. It looked like Jim Kelly was scrambling out there, kind of willed his receiver. It's like staring at him, going, get over there now.
You're right.
I mean, he's got the receivers that he's not used to working with.
incomplete.
Whoa.
Mold's intended receiver and almost picked off by Robert Blackman.
Robert Blackman got one hand on that thing there, you know. Jim Kelly trying to get that ball to Molds. You know, if he get Jim Kelly out of the pocket, he starts moving, it could be a little difficult for Jim. Look at Molds, those outside receiver 80, a little floater. When you throw and move, if you're not used to it, the ball will float on you.
2nd and 10. Here is a draw. Thurman pops through to the 35-yard line. That's going to be close to the first down. Let's see what mark they give him. He could well pick up the first down on the play. Corey Harris with the tackle.
Watch the body motion of Thurman Thomas. Watch how this play is all set up in the offensive backfield. Watch Thurman Thomas right here. Watch how he handles his body if you're the defender. He's blocking. Nope, I'm not. I'm going. That's all set up by the shoulders and the body of Thurman in the formation.
And he has gone for 62 yards rushing and 14 carries in the ball. First down. A looper along the sideline, and it is incomplete. It's a nice move by Quinn Early. He came back inside in reality to see if he could get it first, and then he figured he couldn't, and he saved a possible interception.
Well, did you see him look around, too, real quick, right after that ball hit the ground?
For flags.
Yes. And he wasn't looking for one against the other guy.
That's right. Ooh, got away with one.
He put a little hook ski on the guys with the left arm there to get around him.
2nd down and 10, 35-yard line. 50 seconds time remaining, 3rd quarter. Pass is high, they're pulled down. This is Tony Klein. So Lonnie Johnson and Tony Klein, the top 2 tight ends, have both had some receiving action in the ball game. Robert Blackman with the tackle. Clock continuing to run through the end of the 3rd quarter. 19-8, Seattle leading. Kelly takes a deep breath. And Jim's ready to go. Deep over the middle, a sliding grab. Nice play. Quinn Early.
You got an offensive lineman down for Buffalo. I think it's Reuben Brown.
Prior to the snap, false start. Number 86 on the offense. 5-yard penalty.
That's on Tony Klein. That brings it all back. That turns out to be about a 35 or 38-yard penalty in reality.
That's the kind of thing that frustrates Jim, because you know he's got the 3rd and 6 play.
Yes.
That's in his playbook. That's on his wristband. That's in his head. There is no 3rd and 16 play.
Pass is caught at Russell Copeland. And Copeland inside the 40-yard line of the Seattle Seahawks. Darrell Williams trips him up, a gain of 32 yards on the last play of the 3rd quarter. 3 in the book. Buffalo trails 19-8. Seahawks on top. We'll be back after these messages from your local station.
Copeland, watch the defensive backs and keep in mind where the first down marker is. This defense has been attacking. Jim Kelly catches them in a soft defense, takes advantage of it. That was a good read by Jim Kelly.
Kelly now has completed 19 of 34, 267 yards. We start the 4th quarter with Thurman Thomas. That is the 8th play of the drive that started back on the Buffalo 11-yard line. This is the one thing they have not done. We mentioned this a moment ago. They have not been able to put together that long, sustained drive when they use a lot of plays.
I mean, kind of like the drive when you start using words like rhythm and things like that?
Yes, all those announcer terms. 2nd down and 8, 35-yard line. Kelly is sacked at the 44. Dean Wells gets it, 3rd time he's been sacked in the ballgame.
Charlie, that was Michael McCrary, number 99, coming from the backside. Watch what happens working against John Fina. He gets him going backwards, and then he fights through him. McCrary's the same guy that blocked that field goal and returned it for a touchdown earlier this year against the Houston Oilers. And boy, that was as big a play he's made defensively in a while for the Seahawks.
McCrary also had 10 tackles at Denver last week. 3rd down over the middle and wide open is Quinn Early. Early, a nice move for the 20-yard line, 1st down. That was 3rd down and 17.
Well, remember last one, 3rd and 13, and they made it. Why'd they make it that time? A soft defensive backfield. Watch this area right in here. Here's Early. Watch how soft the middle of this defense is. They're giving. It's a zone. They're gone. Another nice call. Remember, Jim Kelly calls these plays.
20-yard line, first down. Thurman's going to fall forward for a couple of yards on the play. That's going to be it. Still a lot of time remaining in the ballgame. 13:40 and counting. Seahawks are up 19-8.
Yeah, you know you're not having a good day offensively, Charlie, when you're in the fourth quarter and you finally get a chance to say how the team's been doing in the red zone. First time for Kelly and the Bills in the red zone today.
The touchdown, of course, coming from 37 yards out. They just kind of passed through the red zone in the first half on that play. Kelly has a man. Does he hang on to it? Yes, 3-yard line right on target. And it was Tony Klein who pulled it in. Nice grab.
Well, Jim Kelly gets his kid in the huddle and says, you're now forgiven for jumping off sides. 3-4 plays ago, he jumped off sides, and he goes and gets this one. He finds the spot, and that is a grab. That is not a catch. That is a grab because he plucked that thing out of the air.
Number 61 reports eligible. Number 61.
Now, Dusty Ziegler will be set as a tight end. That's the announcement. So he is an eligible receiver.
Is that the voice of God?
Yes, it is. Dusty Ziegler.
Dusty's from Notre Dame.
That's right. Well,
he got a little something going for him. But I mean, man, where'd that come from?
First to go, 3-yard line. Well, it'll be first to go, 4-yard line. Thurman Thomas is stuffed by Winston Moss.
Well, I don't know where that voice came from, but I got a pretty good idea where that defense came from. Watch the outsides. Look at Wooden. Look at Moss. Wooden coming from the inside, Moss from over the top. I mean, wow. I mean, the Buffalo pads are low, but the two guys they have to allow for, they don't allow for.
Derek Holmes is now the tailback as he replaces Thurman Thomas. Second and goal. Play action fake, little lob, and it's incomplete. Tim Tyndale out of the backfield, the fullback, the intended receiver.
Charlie, another little golf analogy, short chip. You ever skull those across the green?
Yes.
Well, Jim Kelly's trying to put a little too much touch on this little chip. Look at him float that thing, and he just put a little too much air underneath that floater. And you know what he's saying right there? Give me another one. Let me do that again. Run that one back.
In this drive, Kelly has completed 6 of 9 for 86 yards. There's the current drive. And it's third down, goal to go, 4-yard line. And Kelly wants a timeout. And the crowd will enjoy this. They think they've taken him right out of his game plan. We'll step aside for a moment. 11:43. Time remaining. Seattle leads it 19-8.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? By Prime Star, mini dish entertainment with no dish to buy. And by Visa, the preferred card of the NFL. It's everywhere you want to be.
You know, Jim Kelly came out in a split formation. He got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 defensive backs. He didn't have the advantage he anticipated. He saw the 5 DBs, and he only had 3 wide receivers.
Third down and goal. He's rushed to incomplete.
Outside again, Charlie. A free blitzer from the outside. When you spread those guys out, remember, we talked, Charlie, about the top of the screen. The blitz coming right where in your backside. That's exactly where Jay Bellamy, number 20, comes, from the backside.
Fourth down, field goal attempt from the 12-yard line, an attempt at 22 yards. Officially, they say 23, and it is good from 23 yards away. So the Bills tack on 3. They now trail 19-11.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Domino's Pizza. Call now to enjoy a hot and delicious Domino's Pizza during the game. For hot and wow, call Domino's now.
This is Charlie Jones, Randy Cross. Now 11 minutes, 36 seconds. Time remaining in the ball game. The Seattle Seahawks, they've led throughout the afternoon. They continue to lead. The score now 19-11. Steve Christie is going to kick off, and Ronnie Harris is the return man for the Seattle Seahawks.
Gabe Northern just comes in there. You expect all the judges to be putting up flip cards here and telling them the score.
9.8, 9.9, 9.8.
Watch the blur. The blur you're going to see is number 99, Gabe Northern. He's been making big plays all year long. Blocked a punt, returned for a touchdown against Philadelphia earlier this year for the Bills. And this is called giving it up. You know, and you hear the term giving it up. Do you need an explanation?
No.
Do you really want to return a kick?
No.
Now you know why I never wanted to be in a wedge. I was in a wedge for one game against Dallas in about I think it was 1980. Walsh put a bunch of the offensive linemen in the wedge. And it took me 2 or 3 returns to figure out that those guys running down on kickoffs don't care about their body. You know, when Gabe Northern's doing that, he doesn't care about his body. And you know what? If he doesn't care about his body, how much does he care about mine?
None.
Yeah, I care a lot.
Less than he does about yours, and they're still there. He's sitting up now. Boy, that is great. That is good news. Next Saturday, here's a program note. NBC Sports presents more exciting NFL action. The special time of 3:30 Eastern Time with the NFL on NBC, and then watch the interconference battle. Randy and I will be at Soldier Field in Chicago. Junior Seau and the San Diego Chargers, who lost today, will take on Dave Wannstedt's Chicago Bears, who won today. It's a special Saturday edition of the NFL on NBC. That's next Saturday, and we will start it all at 3:30 Eastern Time here on NBC. And that may be the happiest sign of all this afternoon, is Ronnie Harris working his way to the sideline. You always wonder when you come down right on the back of the neck.
Exactly.
Strange things can happen.
You get hit like that, you don't know where you're going to come down. All you know is you will.
Seattle starts at their own 25-yard line. First down, little play action. Fireback all the time in the world goes down the field, and it is incomplete. Good coverage downfield. Ricky Prohl, the intended receiver, and Kurt Schultz had the coverage. A check of the ticker with the final scores of the earlier ball games today. Kurt Schultz, who had that coverage for the Buffalo Bills, played his collegiate ball at Eastern Washington, and his hometown is Yakima.
Well, I tell you, Joey Galloway, 84 there for the Seattle Seahawks, hurt Buffalo on that first drive when he got that touchdown. They have taken him out of the game plan so far. They are rolling to him. They're doubling him. They're going to let him beat him for everybody but him.
Second down and 10. Just a moment, I'll tell you exactly how much they have taken him out of the game plan. Over to the far side, this is Chris Warren. Of course, Joey with that big play in the first quarter. Now realize that Rick Meyer in the first quarter threw for 115 yards. It took Joey away. Second quarter, he threw for 13 yards. Third quarter, he's still away. They took him for 11 yards. So all of his production with Joey Galloway leading the way was in the first period. They really shut down the passing game.
They've shut down that side.
Yeah.
You can almost say if 84 is on the left, he's going right because they're taking the left side out of play.
Lamar Smith.
And if you run left, guess who you're going at? You know, you're going at guys like, you know, Phil Hansen, and you're guaranteed from the backside to see that guy right there. You know, Jim Kelly's willing himself into this thing. Bruce Smith lines up on that side, stuffs himself a rookie guard and Pete Kendall and gets in on the tackle. I mean, they weren't going to get a first down. Bruce Smith said no.
Rick Tootin now to kick it away. We're moving on the 10-minute mark. Time remaining in the ball game. Seattle leading by 8. Another good kick. Jeff back at the 11-yard line. Nice move at the 15. Slips another tackle. He works himself pretty well on that return, doesn't he?
It hardly seems worth the effort. You make 2 or 3 guys miss. What do you get? The other 8.
They're working on the toes in the foot of Chris Warren, the running back for the Seattle Seahawks. And they've cut now the tape off of the ankle. It was on there a moment ago as Buffalo goes to work. On the 20-yard line, pressure. Kelly was hit. The ball goes loose.
Sam Adams.
Seattle has the ball. Sam Adams makes the play, and Kelly is really nailed.
You know, during the commercial, Charlie, we were talking, you know, if I'm Greg McMackin, you got to keep attacking. You got to keep going after Jim Kelly. That's exactly what the defense does. Watch this. Corey Lucci working against Sinclair. Sinclair gets in there, gets right underneath Kelly's right arm, drives the left shoulder into the ground, and Kelly's holding that left arm.
And that is now 4 turnovers by Buffalo, and Seattle has capitalized on each of them.
That's Sinclair's second sack of the day.
Seattle 19, Buffalo 11, 9:38 left to go. Worth mentioning again the 4 turnovers that we talked about a moment ago. Again, they've capitalized each time. Meyer is scrambling. And he fights his way back to around the 12-yard line. Kurt Schultz with the tackle as we go to New York for an update on the New England game.
Well, Charlie, at Foxborough, it doesn't seem to matter who's quarterbacking the Jets. Glenn Foley picked off by Ty Law. He returns 38 yards for a touchdown. The Jets rolling toward a 1-13 record. Right now, it's New England 27-10 late in the third quarter, Charlie.
And here in the third quarter with 9 minutes, now under 9 minutes to go, Seattle fashioning an upset over the Buffalo Bills. They've led all the way. It's 19-11. They have a fumble recovery by Sam Adams and a chance to add at least 3 more to their total. Here's Lamar Smith. Smith cuts back. He's inside the 5-yard score. They're going to add 6, maybe 7 more. Lamar Smith, 12 yards out.
And watch what happens. Another cutback opportunity. That is good, smart running. That's physical play by the offensive line. And it's a little lack of want-to by the defense, the Buffalo Bills, in a critical situation. You know, they and New England came into this game at 9-4. New England's going to go out 10-4.
The extra point is up, and it is good. And the beleaguered Seattle Seahawks now leading Buffalo 26-11. They have capitalized on all 4 turnovers with either touchdowns, 2 touchdowns, and 2 field goals. 26-11, back with a kickoff. Hit him over. .8:41 time remaining in the ball game. Seattle up 26-11. They'll kick it away with Eric Moles, the deep back, and Tim Tyndale is the up back on the return for Buffalo. Moles will pull it into the 7-yard line. Has an opening at the 30, and then is cut down to the 35-yard line by Darrell Williams. 28 yards on the return against the Seattle Seahawks ball club that's been very opportunistic. Is that right? Did I pronounce that right?
Opportunistic?
Opportunistic. I left out a syllable.
Well, you know, they created the one on the downs, but, you know, we've got fumbles, interceptions, 23 of the 26 points today coming off of turnovers by the Buffalo Bills. And, you know, Jim Kelly's back in the game, Charlie. We saw how bad Dennis Erickson's defense beat on him last time. They better treat this guy like fine bone china or he's going to crack.
Kelly has completed 21 of 38. He's thrown for 306 yards, and he completes this one for a first down. So you can add 15 more yards to his total. Jay Bellamy for the defense. Quinn Early has the reception as we check the ticker and the other current games that are going on in the NFL at this time.
You heard Greg back in New York refer to the Jets as rolling to 1-13.
Yes.
We've seen them enough. They're stumbling. They don't roll.
Here's the draw to Derrick Holmes. And Holmes will be taken out of bounds around the 46-yard line by Winston Moss.
Absolutely, Charlie. The critical sin to be committed by the Seattle Seahawks in this situation is to soften up defensively. If you soften up defensively against Jim Kelly and this offense, Greg McMackin's defense will give up points fast if they don't keep attacking.
26-11 Seattle, 7.5 minutes left. Kelly comes out, looks right, throws left, pass is complete. Out of bounds 40-yard line, but that will be a first down to Chris Brantley. And Kelly's got the offense cranked up and going again.
And remember, he's going to keep the short little ones like this, but then he's going to run guys off and then run another receiver underneath behind the linebackers and go for a big run after catch type play.
There's pressure and just gets it off. Oh, and he took a major gamble of an interception, but he pulled it off. And it was Chris Brantley who had the reception. Terry Wooden was draped over it.
Well, Charlie, this is not a pass. This is a guesstimate. The 41st time he drops back to pass today, he just chunks this thing and hopes he threw it in the right direction. You saw that stat in the graphic. They're 3 and 3 when he throws more than 30 times.
Second and 97. Cortez Kennedy gets it. That is the 5th time that Jim Kelly has been sacked in the ballgame.
Well, I mentioned the Cardinal sin is to be soft and not attack. Last play it was Wooden. This play it's the Tez. All 300 and some odd pounds of them lumbering up in the middle and just enveloping Jim Kelly. I mean, Kelly was not going to get that ball off, and Tez Kennedy right there. I mean, and now is the case. Now, don't be soft now. Keep attacking.
Third down, 19. Little play action fake, another sack. Number 6, Antonio Edwards gets it.
And that sack is set up by Cortez Kennedy. Watch the pressure from the left side. That's Sam Adams, 98. Makes him step up. When he steps up, Edwards is there. One more time, 98, Sam Adams. He steps up, Kelly's there. There's good aggressive defense.
And here's the kick for Moore with Joey Galloway now back as the return man, and he is thrown down. But there's a flag at the 15-yard line. 5:51, that is the time remaining in the last home game of the season for the Seattle Seahawks, and several of the players making their statement on the season. Coming into the ball game, their record was 5-8. A victory here, of course, they would be 6-8. They have lost 4 home games this year, and they have lost to good ball clubs here. Denver, Kansas City, Green Bay, and Oakland. They've lost all to them here indoors in Seattle. And here is the call from Howard Roy, referee. I think we need to point the other way, Howard, don't we? Ineligible downfield. Now they're going to refuse. What's the call? 12 men on the field.
Illegal substitution on a receiving man. Too many men on the field. That penalty's declined. First down, Seattle.
No, Seahawks had 12 men on the field. Still couldn't work out a return.
Joey could have used 14. I tell you right now, Jim Kelly could use 7 offensive linemen because, you know, he's got a lump and a bruise for every one of those numbers. So if you add those up, folks, somewhere on Jim Kelly right now are 31 lumps and bruises. And those are the ones that really we know about.
Those are the new ones.
Those are the new ones. That's not counting the old ones. You know, the left elbow was all bruised and lumped up, and he's taking a beating today.
Seattle starts from the 10-yard line. Lamar Smith. Buffalo will be at Miami next Monday night, and then they will finish out the season at home with Kansas City. Seattle, I mentioned again their last home game. They go on the road at Jacksonville, and then in 2 weeks at Oakland for their last regular season game.
Well, you know, this time next week when they're getting ready to play again, Buffalo's mindset is suddenly going to be going from, you know, trying to keep pace with New England, that if, you know, this game, they lose this ball game, they're not keeping pace with anybody. You know, they're thinking suddenly wild card. And, you know, Oakland Raiders are the only team to ever go to, you know, all the way through the Super Bowl and win it from the wild card position.
Todd Collins boosting up on the sideline. And, of course, Pittsburgh, they win today. And so they they keep a leg up on Buffalo. So there's still a lot of sorting out to be done between now and the end of the regular season to set out the playoff picture. It's going to be almost as confusing as the college bowl picture.
Timeout. Buffalo.
Buffalo stops the clock. 4 minutes, 56 seconds. Time remaining. Seahawks are up 26-11. Back in a moment. .456 left. Seattle 2 of 14 third down conversions in the ballgame. None this half.
There's Phil Hansen of the defense for the Buffalo Bills. And this Bills defense has done, all overall, not a bad job against Rick Meyer and this Seattle offense, but they've allowed some big plays, the big runs, the big passes. It's not in their territory.
Here's Chris Warren to the right side, and he will come about 3 yards shy of the first down. And so Seattle is now going to kick it away. The Buffalo Bills say they want another timeout. They want to stop the clock with 4:42. That, I believe, is their last timeout. Yes, it is. The Seahawks have 3 timeouts remaining. The Bills are out of timeout. And a time to check the ticker with New England comfortably in front of the New York Jets. That's pretty much as expected.
And I think the Buffalo Bills and Marv Levy are going to open up another can of quarterbacks here, too, and bring Todd Collins in. Because Jim Kelly on the sidelines got the hat on, and he's surrounded by trainers and, getting ready to get wrapped in ice right now because he has really been assaulted by this Seattle Seahawks defense today. And the young man there is going to get a chance, Todd Collins, to lead this team.
What about Carolina? They continue to lead San Francisco in that ballgame. They are a good football team.
No surprise to me. I mean, they're living proof that free agency works. For all those fans around the country that thinks free agency can't be worked correctly, when you've got people in your front office, like Bill Polian down there at Carolina and an excellent coach and Dom Capers and a great staff, you get the people you think fit into your system that have played for you and know what you want to do.
And your kind of people. They always use that terminology. Yes.
And just look at what they've done.
Right. Rick Tootin gets it away. And here's Jeff Burrow. Little stiff arm. Up the sideline. Here he comes. 50-yard line. Can he break it? He'll grab a fistful of jerseys and stop him at the 30-yard line. Nice return. Jay Bellamy finally was able to stop him. Meanwhile, a Seahawk is injured on the play, and we have time for this program note. NBC Tonight starts with Dateline, followed by all new episodes of Third Rock and Boston Common. Then is the all-star comedy movie Greedy with Phil Hartman, Jerry Burns, Michael J. Fox, and Kirk Douglas. What they'll do for money, you won't believe. That's Greedy. It's a great movie. You'll enjoy it. Tops a great night of television here on NBC.
Well, I thought Greedy was the Green Bay Packers today. I guess, everybody in the world billed that as a Super Bowl preview, and they were right. 100%, because it looked like most of the Super Bowls I've seen lately.
Like the ones you played in, too.
Yeah, I mean, that was deja vu all over again for the Denver Broncos.
Yes. And also for the NFC. Right, and 2 players are injured on
I tell
Phillip Daniels and Michael Barber.
The Buffalo Bills punt return team did an excellent job on that last play. That was a classic case of out-kicking your coverage. And, maybe for Jim Kelly, it's maybe a case of not protecting your quarterback. One bag ain't going to do it. They need a bag about 7 feet tall full of ice he can step in.
It's a full-length bag. All right, Todd Collins is now the quarterback for the Buffalo Bills when play resumes with 4 minutes and 25 seconds. That is the time remaining in the ballgame. Don't forget, next Saturday to join Randy and me at Soldier Field, 3:30 Eastern Time. NFL on NBC to be followed by the San Diego Chargers and the Chicago Bears on a cold Saturday in Chicago, the way football is supposed to be played. I'm bringing so many layers of clothes that you won't believe.
Well, you talk about, cold weather, and Buffalo has that last home game against Kansas City, and that's not a good sign for Buffalo fans and Jim Kelly in this offense. Look at the way he's holding that left arm with that ice bag on there. I mean, he's not real happy. He's not happy about, I think, the way he performed earlier. He's not real happy about the protection he had, and he's especially not happy about catching this kind of a break, getting that left shoulder banged up in this situation.
Buffalo at the 30-yard line of Seattle, not completely out of it. Collins comes to the near side, pass is complete to Quinn Early.
Well, if anybody knows about Buffalo not being out of it, Charlie, it should be you. I mean, you worked that great comeback game Frank Reich and the Bills put on the Houston Oilers.
Wasn't that unreal?
4 minutes and 20 seconds. I mean, you're not exactly talking insurmountable lead here at 15 points, and this is plenty of time against a good offense. But the Buffalo Bills have not had a good offense today.
Collins with pressure, and he is sacked. 7 sacks for Seattle in the ballgame. Anthony Edwards and Cortez Kennedy are going to split this one.
Another deja vu all over. I mean, how many times have we seen this? Greg McMackin's defense gets the rush, makes the quarterbacks step up, and then splat. First splat's Edwards, second splat Kennedy, third splat Sinclair.
Second down and 15. To the end zone and overthrown. Chris Brantley, the intended receiver. Darrell Williams had the coverage. 3 minutes and 46 seconds. That is the time remaining in the game. It'll be third down and 15.
You know, Charlie, up on the other side of the field, he threw where the safety rotated to in that coverage. You had the single coverage on the other side of the field with Carlton Gray working against Quinn Early.
3 wide receivers. High pulled in. Touchdown Buffalo. Chris Brantley. Whoa. That was another grab. That wasn't a catch. He really had to hang on to that one. 22 yards and 6 more points for Buffalo.
Hey, he was going against Darrell Williams, who's been the star of this defense in the turnover department. But he throws this ball up. Brantley just looks in time, gets it, and Williams can't stop him from getting in the end zone.
And for Chris Brantley, that is his first touchdown of the year.
Well, I guess all that stretching he was getting on the sideline was worth it.
It worked. And the extra point is good. And the Bills are right back in the middle of this one by a score of 26-18. With still a lot of time, 3:41 left.
See, right about now, though, you got to start wondering where those timeouts are. Remember earlier,
and Buffalo has no timeout.
Yeah, in that last possession, they were calling timeouts with 5-6 minutes to go in the game. And, you know, wouldn't they love to run the clock back a little bit if they knew they were going to be down in this situation like this, you know, down by 8 points. You know, they'll get the ball back here. I don't think this is an onside kick situation. I think you give this ball back to Seattle, stuff them, and then get the ball back with about, I don't know, a minute to go or so. You know, Brantley got his first touchdown, spikes the ball, and now he can't quite decide what to do.
No, he's waiting. His teammates aren't there. He was looking around to celebrate with them, but they weren't there.
No, you see, that was being on the horns of a dilemma. So he threw the horns up.
30 yards, 4 plays, 44 seconds.
He's going, Coach, I froze. So, man, you throw me the touchdown. I had my stuff all ready.
That's right.
I knew exactly what I was going to do when I got that touchdown, and I froze.
26-18.
Well, Seattle thinks this is an onside kick territory.
They've got everybody up.
Buffalo thinks it's an onside kick. Remember, it's got to go 10 yards.
Buffalo has the ball. It was touched by a defender before it went 10 yards. That means it's a live ball.
Good catch, Charlie. Absolutely right. There's no reason Dennis Erickson's guy had to get out there and touch that thing. The way it was bouncing, watch what happens.
Now it's live.
Oh, it's touched by the kicker.
Crumpler gets in there and touches the ball. Watch the tight end, 87. Goes right through his hands. The ball is live, and Eric Moulds gets it.
One more time.
Look at that bounce.
Buffalo starts at their own 40-yard line. They trail by 8. Touchdown, 2-pointer. They're tied. Collins is sacked. Number 8. 8 sacks.
Michael Sinclair, Charlie, number 3 on the day.
Here's a reminder that following the game on most of these stations, it's Dateline Sunday, then the must-see comedies, The Third Rock from the Sun, and Boston Common, followed by the all-star comedy movie Greedy. That's tonight on NBC. Viewers on the West Coast at regularly scheduled time. Nice step-out move by Collins. Heads for the sideline. Oh, get on out. And he does. That'll stop the clock. Todd Collins making the move. Collins has started 3 ball games this year for Buffalo. His record as a starter is 2-1. Early on, he led the Bills to wins over Dallas and Indianapolis, and then he lost to Indianapolis last week.
And this situation, you know, I've been saying, don't be passive if you're the Seattle defense. Keep attacking. They haven't had to attack with the blitz. They've got all the pressure from their defensive line. They're dropping in zone.
Seahawks with 8 sacks. Deep over the middle. Interception. Jay Bellamy has the interception. His first of the year. Turnovers.
And Greg McMackin right there, the defensive coordinator, knows if you can get the pressure with 4 linemen, you can drop in zones. And when you drop in zones, you can have defensive backs anticipate like Bellamy did there, stepping right in front of the receiver. Watch. Right there at the right part of the screen, he's able to anticipate the pass intended for Tony Klein, and he gets that one. I mean, that was good defensive call by the sideline and perfect execution by Jay Bellamy.
Bellamy this year a team-high 25 special team tackles, picks off his first interception of the ball game. Seattle at the Buffalo 44-yard line, just over 3 minutes to go. Chris Miller getting the call.
Well, I tell you what, Charlie, you know, they've run the ball well today, and Dennis Erickson has to know, and the guys on the field have to know, that anyone that handles the ball has got to have 2 hands on it right now. I mean, if I'm the quarterback, I don't take my second hand off the ball before I hand it off. You know, they have effectively beat Buffalo with Buffalo's game plan.
Chris Miller now has rushed for 114 yards, which means in the last 2 ball games, he needs 194 to reach that 1,000-yard plateau for the 5th consecutive year.
And, you know, that's not something Chris Warren is used to, being in that situation, chasing 1,000 this late in the year.
He'll add a couple more yards to his total here. And we'll take the countdown to the 2-minute warning. Buffalo out of timeouts. And the Seahawks still have 3 timeouts remaining.
Well, if Marv Levy and the Bills didn't like that 5.5 hour plane ride out here, they're going to be nuts about this one.
It's going to be a long ride home. 2-minute warning. Seahawks up 26-18. Jim Kelly now a spectator out of that last series. Ice on his shoulder. Cap is on. Warren, maybe a yard. Clock will continue to move. It'll be 4th down. They'll let it run all the way down.
Hey, if I was Marv Levy and the coaching staff for the Buffalo Bills, Charlie, I'd be extremely concerned. Because this Buffalo team couldn't beat Seattle. If this Buffalo team shows up next week against Miami, in Miami, they won't beat the Dolphins. And this kind of Buffalo team can't beat the Kansas City Chiefs, even at home. They need to find some of that fire, some of that flicker they had there ever so briefly, because they've definitely lost it the last couple of weeks.
8 seconds and counting. That is the time on the play clock. They're just going to let it run all the way down, take the penalty, and then go with the snap for the punt. This will be the 9th punt in the ball game for Rick Tootin, averaging 46.8 yards. What you pointed out earlier, you get in a battle of field position, this man will kill you. And in reality, this plays into his hands because he gets a little more area to drop the ball in. Now, the Bills could care less because they're going to send 11 men after him from the line of scrimmage. They do not have a return man back. They're hoping for the block.
Well, this is a one-step kick for Tootin. If he takes 2 steps, he's asking to get a block. You get the snap, you take 1 step, and you kick it.
And remember, the margin is 8 points. He did a little pooch kick. He was in a hurry to get it out, and it could be down inside the 5, and it's going to be at the 1-yard line. James McKnight chased it down 43 yards on the kill.
Yeah, Rick Tootin's back there saying, give me a high five. I meant to do that, guys.
Yeah.
You know, I really did. I meant to do that. Yeah, right. Watch that. I mean, you get, this is a poodle. It's not even a full pooch. It's a poodle kick. I mean, a great job getting down the field and covering, but you know, when things are going your way and they're going right, this is the kind of things that keep happening.
Dexter Stigler and James McKnight down at the 1-yard line, covering for the Seattle Seahawks. And the Bills now with 1 minute and 6 seconds. That is the time remaining, and the Seahawks defenders on the field, they're cheerleading there. 49ers are closing on Carolina with 6 minutes to go in that ballgame. Carolina leads by 6, 30-24. Collins from the end zone throws a diving grab. He's got it at the 7-yard line.
Well, that buys him some room too, a little space. You know, the old get out of him, he'll give me some space. He needed some space because that running around in that painted end zone will drive a quarterback nuts because he's not getting very good protection.
Chris Brantley on the receiving end. You can see 41 seconds and counting. Time remaining. The Bills are out of timeout. Does it get to the sideline? No, it does not get to the sideline. So the clock continues on its inexorable march. Selwyn Jones bringing down Tony Klein. Inside of 30 seconds left.
The clock wasn't stopped as Collins spikes the ball to the ground. The clock wasn't stopped because Klein caught the ball, landed inbounds, and skidded out of bounds.
So with the spike, we now have 22 seconds time remaining. The Seattle Seahawks record with a victory here will be 6-8. And the Buffalo Bills record now will be 9-5, and their whole playoff picture really tightens up with Miami and Kansas City remaining.
The last 2 games have put them in a wild card situation. They will not or cannot win the AFC East. There's no way this football team could be that type of a team. I'm really surprised at the performance of the last 2 weeks by this football team.
And there is sack number 9. 9 sacks. Cortez Kennedy and Antonio Edwards get this one.
It's only fitting a game should end on that kind of a play for Buffalo. They should be sacked on their last play.
And the Bills may have time for one more desperation play. Again, with 4 seconds, they only trail by 8. They're not going to get it up. And that is it. The Seattle Seahawks pull off the upset as they defeat the Buffalo Bills 26-18. And we'll be back to Seattle in just a moment. Buffalo turns the ball over 5 times. Seattle with 9 sacks. Seahawks win it 26-18. Next Saturday at 1:30 Eastern, it's the Ironman Triathlon. Paula Newby-Frazier comes out of retirement and goes for a record 8th victory. Then at 3:30, more exciting NFL action will be in Chicago, the Bears and the Chargers. For Randy Cross, Charlie Jones. This has been the NFL on NBC.
The NFL, the NBA, Major League Baseball, Notre Dame football, the PGA Tour, Wimbledon, the USGA Championships, and the 2000 and 2002 Olympic Games, all on America's sports leader, NBC.